Okay, so I think we're live. It is 117. It is 125, 2026. Hi, sweetie. And it is Saturday, early Sunday morning. Let's see here. We got we scroll up here. We got Paula's in here. Hey Paula, how are you? Good to see you. We got Leader Joe. I believe that's Carol. Hi Carol, how are you? Good to see you. There's Paula right there. We got Nicole's in here. Good to see Nicole. Let's see here. It's always good to see Nicole. We got Vicarious Vigilantes in here. Good to see you. Hope everybody's well. It is pretty freaking cold out right now. Beasley's in here. Good to see Beasley. And before I get off of Beasley here, and before I forget, thank you for coming in, because I always forget to say at the end of the stream, thank you. So that's Beasley's in here. Good to see Beasley. We got Mino Dino's in here. Hey, Mino Dino, good to see you. We got Tracy in here. There's Tracy right there. Where's Peggy? We got, let's see here. This is actually Quad is Tracy, I think. Pretty sure. Let's see here. The gang is here. Let's Eddie Munson this thing. Let's do that. Yeah, I hope everybody's staying warm. Let's see here. We got all right, that's good enough for now. If I missed anybody, I apologize. But Brian Pinos is here too. There he is, right there. Good to see you. Always good to see everybody. We're gonna go over obviously the true crime cases of the week. If people have in the know, it's going to snow, and it's going to snow a lot. Like I said, I hope everybody's being safe. Dieter's here too. Hey, Dieter, good to see you. We got Miranda's in here. Miranda Lee's right there. Good to see Miranda Lee. You need 20 subs for 1K. Wow, you're getting really close. I'll try to get over there on some of my other accounts. Maybe that's Peggy. Vicarious Vigilantes, Peggy. Okay. Awesome. Good to see Peggy. Let me see if I can get over there later to sign sub with a couple of my other accounts. Maybe that'll get you closer. But anyways, I'm going to play my intro. We're going to go over the true crime cases of the week. We're going to go over the missing person case of the week, and then Rose City 00's here from Oregon. Good to see Rose City. Thank you, Miranda, for that. Good to see Rose City here. All right, let me play an intro, and we'll get this freaking thing going here. Like I said, I hope everybody's well. Let's see here. I got to play. Then we're going to go over a couple of other cold cases too, cold cases and stuff like that. So let's do this here, and we'll be right back, I think. Be right back. Okay, so that's good news. Okay, thank you everybody for going over there and subbing to Brian. Brian's got a great channel. Peggy's got a great channel too. Let me know if you need a wrench. Vicarious. Let's see here. I was just going to say something. I forgot what the frick I was going to say. Yeah, I don't mind posting other people's channels in here. There's so many good creators in here. There's Paula. There's Brian's in here. We got Peggy's in here. I'm pretty sure Peggy's still got a channel. And then, of course, Southern Gal. Southern Gal's awesome. And then a ton of them. A ton of great channels. All right, so what I'm going to do first is let's do this first here. I know it's not going to be true crime related, but I just figured I'd play this here. Let's see. Since everybody's been talking about this here, let's play this first here because we're expecting snow. I mean, it's almost the end of January, so I mean, we're going to get walloped here, but it's nothing new to us. So here's this here. This is the latest, I think the latest forecast here for the East Coast. This is, I do know it's freaking cold out. Like, I think it was maybe 5 or 6 degrees today, for a high. And I'm supposed to be changing my brakes in the car, and it's just not going to happen in 5-degree weather. I can guarantee you that much right now. All right, so here's this.
Yeah, Jeff, they're preparing for the worst, certainly hoping for the best, but the city is taking all the steps needed to prepare for what could come tomorrow. While it is the calm before the storm right now, it's also the cold before the storm. So it is very cold.
I'm frozen? How did I get frozen? Heather's here. Holy cow. Heather's here right there. It's so good to see you, Heather. I haven't seen you around for a while. I think that, Dino's been telling us that somebody's been telling us that you've been cheating on us with Scrabble. But it's always good to see Heather in here. Heather's an amazing freaking person. I'm so glad she's here tonight. Hope you're well. Let me know if I'm still frozen. Okay, thank you. All right, let's go here.
Cold right now. New Yorkers have also been preparing. We're here in Brooklyn right now, and you can see there is actually a plow behind me here, a sanitation truck that's sitting there. It doesn't have anything to do yet, but it certainly will have a lot to do tomorrow. And again, here in Brooklyn, people have been taking advantage of being able to travel around the city today because they can't tomorrow, and they have been finding ways to endure the freezing temperatures. You know it's cold when even the pigeons appear to be bundled up. New Yorkers, too, bundled while going about their Saturday by Prospect Park. Many even going on a run.
It was cold, but it was good. It's beautiful, clear. It's a
What
little
an
windy,
idiot.
honestly. I feel like
These people are crazy. Let's see here. Fishy's here. Big Fish is here. Where's Big Fish? Good to see Big Fish in here. There, right there. Okay, good. Good to see Heather in here too. My God, it's been a while. I was starting to get worried about you. Okay, thank you.
it's the biggest thing. I just like having the wind whip against your face.
Also, ahead of the storm, store shelves are emptying out. Last-minute grocery shoppers say they prefer to be prepared.
You never know what you expect, huh? So to be on the safe side, sometimes it's good to get, But I have it and you don't have it, So that's what it is.
Mayor Zohran Mamdani held a news conference in Manhattan with updates on the city's snow preps. 2,300 plows are at the ready, along with 2,000 sanitation workers who have already started their 12-hour shifts. Also, the FDNY increasing firefighters, the MTA activating its Emergency Operations Center, and a Code Blue is in effect to help bring homeless New Yorkers to shelters. The new mayor, facing his first big snow event, has one main message.
Please, if you can avoid it, do not drive, do not travel.
So I will go over there when I get a chance on a couple of my other channels to sub up to Brian so you can get closer. That'd be awesome if you hit 1,000 tonight. That'd be great.
do not do anything that could potentially place you or your loved ones in danger. Instead, I urge every New Yorker who can to put a warm sweater on, turn on the TV, watch Mission Impossible for the 10th time. Above all, to stay inside.
For 7-year-old Zariah Beckford, though, she does want to go outside and make snow angels. But if it's too cold,
I'll go inside and have a warm cup of hot chocolate.
all right, so let's talk a little bit about
Whatever you do, don't change brakes.
closures that we can expect for tomorrow. Specifically, I want to talk about public libraries. We're here in front of the Brooklyn Public Library. There's one of many that will really
See, they always prepare for these storms, especially in the bigger cities like New York and Boston. But this nice clear roadway now, and all of these people just kind of like driving it. As soon as the storm hits, all of these people are just going to panic, and it's going to be a complete disaster.
all of them will be closed tomorrow because of the weather, and you can probably expect a lot of other things to close as well. And as for schools, as we know, that has been a big topic of discussion. According to the Mamdani administration, schools will either be in person or remote learning from home, and that'll be determined by noon tomorrow. And now we just wait for the flakes to fall. Live in Prospect Park, Lindsay Tuckman, Channel 7.
It'll be, I know there's some towns that are starting to sue people for not shoveling their driveways or shoveling the walkways and stuff like that. It's just, it gets a little crazy. All right, I just wanted to play that because it seems to be the biggest thing on people's minds right now. But all right, let's see here. We're going to go to this here because I just came across this earlier tonight. And I thought this, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. It's not my sidewalk. Let's see here. All right, let's go here. We're the only people around here that don't get it's just crazy. All right, we're gonna do this here. I went and saw this earlier, and I didn't know that this existed. But here's an interview with I don't know if you guys remember the Dylan Rounds case out there in Utah. I think it was. They ended up finding him. I don't know if they ever found him. Did they find him? No, but they charged somebody with his unaliving. And this is an interview with the mom and a couple of investigators. So we'll listen to. I mean, this is a freaking hour long, so I don't know if we're going to do the whole hour, but it's going to be interesting to hear what she has to say. I mean, hasn't it been like a couple of years now? But anyways, here we go here with this.
Really excited to have three guests here in our studio today who are very, very familiar with the Dylan Rounds case. Of course, Candace Cooley is Dylan's mother. We've spoken several times over the years. And joining her today, we have Jeff Ross. He is a retired FBI special agent out of the Salt Lake City office. We also have Matthew Anderson, the deputy director of the Intermountain West Regional Computer Forensic Lab. What exactly does that mean?
You guys are so awesome. I really appreciate all you guys coming in on a late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. You guys are troopers. Yeah, let me know, Peggy, if you want to run. Peggy's amazing. Peggy's got a great show, great channel. So doesn't Amy G.
Hey, Matthew.
So I'm actually a full-time forensic scientist.
This woman right here is a freaking hero, in my opinion. She's smiling now, right? But when this whole case was going on, these I don't want to call them ass faces, but these the sheriff's office over there and a couple of other law enforcement agencies were just giving her a really freaking hard time. But you weren't going to stop this woman here. She's, in my opinion, she's a freaking hero. She wanted answers and she got them. They were pretty brutal to her.
And they're the Intermountain West RCFL. We are a joint task force supporting local and federal law enforcement for all of Utah, Idaho, and Montana.
Great. And Jeff, how long were you with the FBI?
26 and a half years.
Wow. You
Don't mess with mom, right? Like this woman here when she was on, I remember she went on Gray Hughes' channel, and he was kind of like insulting her, and I just wanted to reach through the computer and punch his freaking head in. I mean, she took it, she took it well, I guess. She wasn't going to take no for an answer, that's for sure. I don't blame her.
You worked extensively with Candace and Box Elder and the other agencies with the Dylan Rounds case.
Yes.
Candace.
Boston Christian's here. Good to see Boston Christian. Unindicted co-conspirators here. Good to see unindicted co-conspirator. Gray is a malignant narcissist. It's ass face will work.
Give me a brief update. We were talking before we started to roll on the status of James Brenner.
Yeah, so we did get a parole date, August 1st, 2036, and that's just a hearing. That is only a hearing. So the 3 years we don't have to worry about.
Because the minimum sentence James Brenner got was 3 years in prison. He was sentenced in July of 24. So technically.
Can you freaking believe this? This guy only got 3 years? Is that what he got? I thought he got more than that.
He could have gotten out or been on parole in 27.
And that's kind of a lack in our systems with victims advocates because we weren't told that. We were expecting a hearing in 2027. Then I went through training in Utah and found out that's not how it was. So that took a lot of that anxiety away. But that's something that was not communicated.
Yeah.
So we're working on that with Tyler.
So, Jeff, can we go back and tell us a little bit how you got involved with the case?
It was Sunday, June 12th. I got a phone call from a guy on our task force who said, hey, we're helping out Davis County executing a bunch of warrants, we've just taken Chase Venstra into custody, and we need help dumping phones. Can you come in? I didn't know who Dylan Rounds was. I'd heard some stuff about a kid going missing in Lucin, but never been to Lucin before. Hadn't worked with Box Elder County Sheriff's Office before. And so just went down and was asked to simply process all these phones that had been seized from Chase Venstra because he was a person of interest in Dylan's disappearance. Got down to the Davis County Sheriff's Office and realized that.
Yeah, where is Shibby? I hope he's okay. I don't think he did. Did he do a live tonight? I don't remember seeing. Good to see Boston Christian in here for sure. Vicarious Vigilantes in here. Got a lot of good people in here. Unindicted co-conspirators in here. Good to see you. They only found his remains because the killer revealed the location. He should have gotten. I agree. Some of these people, man.
The software tools that I had wasn't sufficient for all the stuff that we needed to get through. So I called Matt at the lab. He was coming back from.
That's like the worst ultimatum you can give a parent, right? Like, I mean, how do you approach the parents and say, would you rather find your son or do you want, to go to trial to convict this person? And I mean, that's got to be the worst type of decision to make, right?
A camping trip, met him down at the lab. The air conditioning was off. It was 106 degrees in the office. And we just started dumping phones. And that's how I initially got involved. And, when you're dumping a phone, you get a lot of time to sit while it processes and stuff. So I just started reading police reports and stuff on this case just to familiarize myself with it. And we offered, the FBI at that point had already offered their assistance.
I got to read this because this is only stuff you'd see on YouTube. Gray is literally the worst of the worst. His channel needs to be taken down. Malignant, narcissist, misogynist, and pure ass face. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. I got stuff for you guys here. Hold on a second. Right. That deserves an applause twice. So, okay, there we go. All right, let's go on here.
To box elder and, executing the warrants at the residences where Chase was staying in Davis and County. And so then we just got involved from there.
So when you say dumping phones, what exactly does that mean, Matt?
Dumping the phone is connecting it to one of the numerous devices that we have, different software or hardware devices, and pulling the data off of the phone itself, just pulling it off and making a report that's easily readable and can be searched by the examiner or by just the case agent.
When I sat through a couple,
I wonder if Dino blocked Shibby again. I think that's possible. It's always good to see Dino here. The old band's back together here. We got Hebby in here. We got Dino. It's just awesome people. Did they ever catch this person? Yes.
couple of trials over the past few years, I thought it was something as simple as you stick the phone on the device and all of a sudden all the photos pop up and all the text messages pop up.
If you're lucky, that happens.
Right. But it can be far more complicated than
It can be, yeah.
Yes.
It really depends on the type of phone that you're dealing with, age of the phone, if it's newer or a much older phone, and the status of the phone. What is it, really busted up, or is it in nice pristine condition?
Oh, that's too funny. Do they use Google? I don't know.
What's the phone looking like? Sometimes after repair.
Yeah, they go out in a sidebar to this. Oh God, I've missed you too. And then they use Google. They trust Google search.
The phone, sometimes you have to, and sometimes you just plug it in and there's the data.
Yeah.
Just pulls it straight out. So it's kind of boxing with the phone a little bit.
Heather's one of the most wonderful people on the planet. She's just a great person. It's always good to have her in here. Missed her when she was gone for sure, but I understand. Scrabble is more important to us than me, that's for sure.
But
So the reason you're talking about Chase Venstra is he was originally the person of interest.
Yes.
We put the $5,000 reward on his head, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Because Dylan had that run-in with him on Wednesday.
You remind people about that run-in.
Yeah, so he called me Wednesday morning and said this crazy guy came running out of the desert, beaten bloody with no shoes on. He wanted a ride. Dylan wouldn't give him one, but he let him use his phone. And then we later confirmed Dylan did give Chase a ride. Everything matched from the phone data on Chase's phone that he charged it, called his dad.
Hold on a second here.
Originally the person of interest.
Yes.
We put the $5,000 reward on his head, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Because Dylan had that run-in with him on Wednesday.
You remind people about that run-in.
Yeah, so he called me Wednesday morning and said this crazy guy came running out of the desert, beaten bloody with no shoes on. He wanted a ride. Dylan wouldn't give him one, but he let him use his phone. And then we later confirmed Dylan did give Chase a ride. Everything matched from the phone data on Chase's phone that he charged it, called his dad. Dylan took him to the highway.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they had that phone data. Okay, that makes sense.
And then took him back. But we didn't know that, so all we could think is here's a pair of Dylan's boots left in the desert. Dylan is missing, and here's this guy that I know Dylan had this altercation with because he...
Yeah, that's the two words that reign true in just about every single cold case, right? Not muddy and bloody. All right, let's go. Sorry.
He called me, and then people are like, well, why did he lie to you? Well, easy. I'm mom, and you tell me you picked up a guy beaten and bloody out of the desert, we're going to have problems, son. Like, so that was our original. And then once we started, we didn't know who Chase was. Once we put out that $5,000 reward on Facebook for his location, and then the town hated him, the departments, he had warrants out for all kinds of stuff, it just kind of exploded. And that's when Chase called me and said, I've been trying to call Box Elder. They won't talk to me. Had nothing to do with your son's disappearance, blah, blah. And so then it just But it's perfect because they got him.
You got him on other
Yeah.
crimes, not
Yes,
connected.
yeah. So he was arrested on June 12th for felon in possession of a firearm. He was arrested and then eventually charged federally with felon in possession of a firearm because when they had executed warrants in Davis County, law enforcement had seized a bunch of firearms that he.
Yeah, the math is not mathing here either, Miranda. I would take the people in here. Yes. Stupid dog is having a nightmare, I think. All right, here we go. Well, we'll listen to a little bit. I didn't know that all of this stuff happened.
He had in his possession. He's not allowed to have them because he was convicted of a felony in, I think, 2017, which involved, surprisingly enough, burglarizing a home and stealing a rifle out of it. So,
So you were able to get him on that. He said he wasn't connected to Dylan's disappearance. Did you believe him at that time?
Yeah, we did. And at that point, we'd already known before they pulled all of his data, we'd already known because he said, you can see me on camera in a gas station in Tremont. And I was able to get that picture. And then it came in, they got his data, and you can clearly see he's leaving the area and he's completely on the other side of the Great Salt Lake on the day of Dylan's disappearance.
I see.
Yeah.
So Matt, in the movies and on TV shows, we see that somebody in your role would hook up the computer or the phone, and then bing, something pops up, and you pick up the phone and say, "We got it," or something like that. Is that how it works?
that actually is how it works.
Is it? I mean, is that-
Sometimes it is.
Exactly.
It really depends on what asked for by the
I'm pretty sure it's not that complicated.
case agent with the phones earlier on in this case. I just pulled all of the data off of it and handed.
Yeah, it's really terrible. It's going to be awful for a lot of people. That's the one thing I don't, like I don't mind 10 or 20 inches of snow. It's when you start getting some of this sleet and ice and mixing. That's the bad stuff. So I hope you guys stay safe over there for sure.
A report to Jeff and let him go through it. I wasn't even looking through it.
This is going to be up here anyways. This is going to be great snow because it's going to be really light. I mean, it's too freaking cold for anything else. It's going to pile up really quick. So, I'll take that stuff any day of the week, but it is cold out.
It's just help him dump the phones, help him acquire all of the data, and then he can go through it on his time.
So Chase Venstra is the person of interest kind of in the beginning, but then that fades away. At what point did James Brenner come on the radar?
When he entered the picture.
Tell me about that,
Jeff came in the picture.
I was sitting reading the police reports, and as names were, as I was reading about law enforcement having contact with a person, there's a lady that worked in our office. She was on the other side of the barrier, and I was just saying, "Hey, Naomi, run this name for me. Here's the name and date of birth. Run this name for me, name and date of birth." And I'd asked her, I said, "Hey, Naomi, run Jim Brenner. Here's his name and date of birth." And comes back, and he had a huge criminal history. He had attempted murder, malicious wounding with an antique firearm, domestic violence offense, aggravated assault, felon in possession of.
And these guys are walking the streets, right? That's the biggest takeaway from some of these things here is you got this long rap sheet, and these guys are literally still walking the streets.
Firearm that he actually did federal time for, I think, in North Dakota.
In multiple states, Maryland too.
Yeah, Maryland was where the malicious wounding, and that involved, I think, he had been laid off from his job. I may be wrong on some of the details, but he was staying in a campsite, and his boss from that job and a coworker came to see him at the campsite just to check on him. He got in an argument with them and shot at least one of them with a black powder handgun, which is the antique firearm.
So as you're seeing this,
black powder, wow.
Says Naomi is giving you this information. What are you thinking?
We should be looking at Jim Brenner. He's the guy so when someone goes missing under suspicious circumstances, typically if it's let's just draw a parallel with like a child abduction, right? And Dylan was a kid. He was 19, but he's still a kid. I got kids older than he is. The area within a quarter mile of where that child is last seen is usually where they're abducted from. And so if you look at if you apply that.
Hold on a second here. I might have to write this down because that's interesting info right there.
I mean, okay, so when someone goes missing under suspicious circumstances, typically if it's let's just draw a parallel with like a child abduction, right? And Dylan was a kid. He was 19, but he's still a kid. I got kids older than he is. The area within a quarter mile of where that child is last seen is usually where they're abducted from.
Within a quarter mile of the abduction scene, was that person's last seen is usually where they're abducted from. That's interesting.
So if you look at if you apply that to this crime scene where the last place we know Dylan was based on the phone call that he had on the morning of May 28th with his grandmother about parking the truck in the grain shed. And we also had that verified also with the phone data that Verizon had provided in regards to Dylan's phone. There's only one person, and he's not a quarter mile away. He's 50 yards away, and it's Jim Brenner. And he has this incredibly violent criminal history. And
I think that's actually a weird number because it's my understanding he was taking the night off streaming, but I thought he would be here. Yeah, I hope Jimmy's all right. I didn't see him live tonight, but then again, I was doing everything else besides that. So,
Brenner's story that he'd been giving to law enforcement was, on the day of the 28th, I was by myself on that property, all by myself. I never saw anybody else there. I hadn't seen Dylan in weeks, and I left.
See, this is the problem, right? Like, suspects are not going to tell you the truth, right? So, probably further in rural area. I would think so. I think that number is really small, right? Like a quarter of a mile doesn't get you very far. No. Thank you, Nicole.
Left at about 2:00 in the afternoon to go visit my friend Don Hately for ribs and to watch Yellowstone. I came back at 9:00 at night, and then that's when I saw that the grain truck was parked in the grain shed. And based on the other interviews that we'd done with Dylan's grandparents and the phone data that we had and everything else, we knew that was all a lie.
Problem with math is you need to know math for the rest of your life, right? There's some topics in high school that you only really need to know for a very short period of time, and then who gives a shit after that? But math, you really need to be good at math for the rest of your life. Doesn't this you're always going to run into issues, right? It would be nice if you only had to know math for like 2 years and then not have to worry about it anymore. John Paul Hansen's here. I was just thinking about you earlier. Where the hell have you been? John Paul Hansen's here. It's good to see John Paul. Always good to see John Paul. Hope you're well, buddy. Right. Exactly.
So it all just focused on him from that point until he could give us a convincing reason why it wasn't him. It was going to stay on him.
I remember early on, Candace, interviewing you, and I don't know if you said this on camera or off. I asked you if you thought Dylan was still alive, and you said you didn't think so.
I don't remember if it was off or on either.
Yeah.
The boots were the kicker in that.
That was.
Right. Yep. The pickup, I could have probably been like, well, maybe he did take off with friends, but the boots.
And
this poor woman, I just feel so bad for her. She's, you know, she's like I said, she's just an amazing person in my opinion. She I think that was her only son, right? Her only child. That's just terrible.
Then the firearm that was in the trailer and then out of the trailer.
The
I mean,
key
there was
fob.
the key fob, all these clues that just
Yeah.
didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's Gretchen's in here. Good to see Gretchen for sure. I haven't seen I haven't seen Gail in a while either. I hope she's okay. I hope Gail's okay. Remember Gail? She used to come in here.
This is before Jeff was involved.
Was it? So
Yeah.
Jeff, did you think, having been in law enforcement for, nearly 3 decades, this kid's not alive?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
And Brenner, he had convenient explanations as to, for example,
They always tell you in abduction cases, never let the person take you to a second location. I think that was Steve. Steve kind of reiterated that in some of his lives. So if you ever get abducted, don't let anybody take you to a second location because it's probably not going to go well.
why the boots, how he came to find the boots on the property while I was looking for his horse. Oh yeah, I picked those boots up and I threw them in the trash pile.
Thank you, Dita. Gail's amazing. Gail has been in here. I haven't seen her for a while. Hope she's well. Yeah, remember that, Mino. Just in case Timmy takes you. Just don't go over the border. Either one. I know Gail Hurd and Gail Meyer. I know there's another Gail too, Gail, that comes in here sometimes. I probably should have been a little bit more. The Gail that used to come in here, I know Gail Hurd's been in here too.
Or even with the truck that was parked in the grain shed. When I saw that whoever...
I haven't seen Dirty Diana either for a while. I saw her. Where did I see her? I think I saw her on Daisy Asks channel a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago. But she may be taking a break from YouTube, I think, maybe.
Parked the truck in the grain shed, bumped into all my stuff. I had to move the truck. So he's,
Well, and he
all
told
these
us
convenient
that.
explanations as to why he was basically interacting with evidence.
Right. So why did it take a little bit of time before he was arrested?
So I can only speak to my involvement.
Yeah.
I know that he was arrested on June 10th for an aggravated assault that he had committed a year early. I think it was a little.
Okay, Nicole. You have an excessive sleeping episode recently. Well, I hope you get some good sleep. You saw Dirty Diana briefly yesterday on YouTube. Sleep well when you zonk out, Nicole. I hope everybody's staying safe. There's a lot of shit going around. Everywhere you go, everybody's freaking sick. So I hope everybody's doing well. We'll listen to a little bit more of this, and I got to move on to other shit. Whoops.
A little over a
It
year
was a little
earlier,
over a year, yeah.
where he had assaulted someone out in Lucin with a folding chair and beat the hell out of him.
Right.
And he was there was a warrant out for his.
If you do go to sleep, Nicole, I hope you have a great week. It's always good to see Nicole in here. And I'm going to say thanks for coming in now, because I'll probably forget you too. Nicole's amazing too.
His arrest, and he was taken into custody by the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office. I think it was on June 10th.
Yes, it was.
And he was released several hours later after he was booked into jail.
And June 10th, that's May 28th is when Dylan was last seen. So
Right.
he was arrested, released, and then arrested again sometime later.
Yeah, well, and
So he was arrested so on June 16th, so June 12th is the Chase Venstra.
Yeah, June 16th.
June 16th was a Thursday. Our task force, the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, we went out to assist Box Elder County in just searching and interviews and all sorts of stuff. And
I think they went out to Box Elder County to slap them upside the head a little bit and told them to get on this case. I think that's what they did because in the beginning of this case, I remember they weren't doing anything at all.
I sat down with Detective John Pierce from the Davis County Sheriff's Office, who was a member of our task force. And we sat down with James Brenner and just wanted to lock him into a statement.
That's some funny shit right there, bro.
And it was the similar statement that he'd already given Long.
I gotta read this. Sorry. If I ever go missing or die mysteriously, the Church of Owl better get on it.
Enforcement previously, but I wanted to lock him into it. And I knew
in that case, we'll probably be driving on the wrong side of the roads, having issues with maps, all kinds of catastrophes on YouTube, all of that kind of shit.
the whole time he was talking to us that he's lying about a bunch of stuff, right? And then our goal was to, I want to keep talking to him. I want to keep that line of communication open until we can develop evidence to show, like, beyond that he's clearly lying to us.
Right.
And so we asked him to if he'd be willing to take a polygraph. And I've been involved in plenty of missing kids cases and stuff where someone rises up as a person of interest and we give them a polygraph and we find out that, they pass it with flying colors and we're like, sorry to bother you, go on your way, right? And so we kind of offered that to Brenner, and he says, if it'll get you to leave me alone, I'll take one. And so he took a polygraph with the FBI at the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office on Monday, June 20th, because that was as soon as we could get it scheduled with him.
Right.
Now, between June 16th and June 20th, Box Elder County Sheriff's Office and their search and rescue, there's a volunteer with the search and rescue. His name's Kelly Gibson. He's a data analyst by day for the Mormon Church. And he says, hey, let me take a look at this phone data that you got from Verizon. I wouldn't mind taking a look at it. I'm like,
From Brenner's phones.
no.
From Dylan's.
From Dylan's
from
phone.
Dylan's
Dylan's.
phone.
Okay,
So
okay.
we didn't have Dylan's phone. We didn't have Chase's phone. This is data that was provided by Verizon.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Because at this point, Dylan's phone's in the pond. And
You
didn't know that.
You're getting ahead of it, man.
Sorry.
Come on now.
Sorry. Okay.
Everybody knows.
We're gonna back up. Verizon says, take a look at this data.
Right, exactly. And Kelly says, hey, let me take a look at this. I'm a data analyst. This is kind of my thing. I love this stuff. Let me take a look at it. So he gets it and he starts plotting the phone and he says, I think Dylan's phone is in this Lucin pond.
Oh.
And so on June 18th, Box Elder County Sheriff's Office and Search and Rescue go out to the pond. And now, coincidentally, this is also the same pond where Brenner said that on the 28th, the day that Dylan went missing, that Brenner happened to be at the pond.
Is Tracy okay? Nicole, I can hear you snoring. We're trying to listen. Dylan was 19, I think, 18 or 19. I hope Tracy's okay. Thank you. Feel better. I feel better. Here. A couple more minutes here and we're going to get out of here.
Gathering water and firewood before going to see his buddy to eat ribs. And at the very exact location where Brenner said that he was standing to get that water, like about, arm's length out into the water, Search and Rescue recovers a phone. And it's, we believe to be Dylan's phone. And so that was huge. The unfortunate thing is that at the time that it was taken out of the pond, the guidance that we got from FBI lab at Quantico was that phone's been underwater for almost 3 weeks at this point. The likelihood of getting anything useful as far as a digital extraction is slim to none. and that you have a better chance of potential.
Barbara Hall's here. Hey, Barbara Hall, good to see you. Miss Barb's in the house. It's always good to see Barbara here. Hope you're okay. Hope you're well. Farku's in here too. Hey, Farku, good to see you. There's Farku right there. Always good to see Farku, and we got Barbara Hall in here too.
Actually pulling fingerprints or DNA off of that phone. If you seize it in the water that it's in, put it in a paint can and ship it off to Quantico. And so that's what we did. And it's not on like TV where it's, you know, boom, 15 minutes later, we get a call saying, hey, get in here, check this out. It took a while for them to do that. And unfortunately, while the case is going on and we're still looking at Brenner, it took, I think, until sometime in August that the examination on the phone was done, and there was no DNA, no fingerprints, and they shipped it back to us. Now,
my dogs are so annoying. Right before I go live, I try to put them outside. And of course, they don't want to go outside. But as soon as I come on live, all of a sudden, now they want to go outside.
now at the same time, you know, we now have the phone. That's on Saturday, June 18th. On Monday, June 20th, we go out. And now we've got, you know, when I say we, I'm talking law enforcement, the task force, Box Elder County Sheriff's Office. We want to give Brenner the opportunity to take the polygraph because he said he would take it. He says, yeah, I'll take it. So we drive him back to Brigham City, which is, you know, 2.5.
Always good to see you here, Farq. Let me see here. Let me see if I can get let me play this here.
Our drive to get him back there to take the polygraph. At the same time, there's agents and officers kind of canvassing the Montello, Lucin area, talking to everybody about Brenner. And we find out that in the days after Dylan's disappearance, Brenner had gotten rid of a couple of firearms, given them to Don Hately for safekeeping. That included a rifle, a .22 rifle, 2 black powder handguns, and a black powder rifle. So we seized those.
Right.
At the same time, Brenner's being polygraphed and he fails it miserably. And that's when we start pressing him for details about what actually happened on the 28th. And it was during that interview where myself, John Pierce, and the polygraph examiner, we start pressing him and we let him know that we had seized the phone. And I'm retired now.
Say whatever you want.
He looked like he was going to shit himself.
Yeah.
Okay. And
you knew once you said
I knew before then.
Right, but once you said we have the phone,
yeah,
that's when there was
you could see a definite change. And I wish, unfortunately, like the interview camera, the camera in the interview room was posted up here, but I wish there would have been right on his face because you saw
it's 0 right now here it's 0 degrees. With a wind chill, it feels like it's about minus 18 degrees. Not good.
Like just fear. And I saw tears well up in his eyes, and we started pressing him, saying, like, you have been lying to us. What actually happened? Just tell us where the body is.
Charlotte was here. She graced our presence last week. She was here 40. It hit minus 45 a couple nights ago. Wow. Yeah, it's cold out here. Usually when it's this cold around here, it doesn't snow, but it's going to warm up just enough tomorrow to give us the 1 to 2 feet that we're going to get.
I don't think anyone at that point in time believed that Dylan was alive or that there was any other explanation other than Brenner, this violent guy, had killed this kid and did something to the body. And he kind of tears up for just a moment. And then he says, am I under arrest? I said, I don't know if you are or you're not. And he goes, well, if I'm not under arrest, take me home or put me in jail. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Mm.
And so we, on the 20th, because while we were polygraphing and interviewing him, all these firearms had been seized that Brenner had, we took him into custody for felon in possession of a firearm again. And he was charged by the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office initially with those crimes.
yeah.
And then ultimately the state of Utah, Box Elder County, kept the charges in regards to the black powder handguns and the black powder rifle. But because we had also seized a .22 rifle, that was a violation of federal law. We had him charged in federal court with felon in possession of a firearm. And that's what got him held pending trial for the remainder of the case.
The federal charge.
Yes.
And he only got, what did he get, 3 years? Let me see if I can look this up. What the hell was his name? Dylan Rounds. I think he got 3 years. Wait, hold on a second here. He pleaded guilty to second degree. Second degree. He pleaded second degree felony murder in the unaliving of Dylan Rounds, 2 counts of possession of a firearm. But it doesn't tell me how. I don't think he got much time at all, to be honest with you. Anyways, I'll look that up later. All right, let's move on to something else. Sorry about that. I just wanted to. Yeah, it's definitely a 3-dog night for sure. All right, let's go to this one here. I wanted to cover this. Hold on a second. Let me stop sharing this. I think that was just interesting that they're doing that interview now because I haven't heard anything from that case for a while. But let's go here. This happened. Let's see here. This has been going around the internet here. Gwinnett County Police are investigating a domestic-related pew-pewing that resulted in the deaths of unalivings of 4 individuals. The 9/11 calls placed by children hiding in a closet. This is going to be a little triggering here. Oh, good. I can go to the Carver police one from here. Okay, good. All right. So this is horrific. I think they had a press conference about this too. And if I can find the press conference, I'll play that too. But so this happened in Georgia, I think Atlanta. This happened yesterday. No, the 23rd.
I want to keep you updated on some local headlines we're following here in our newsroom here at Fox 5. Just a horrible situation unfolded earlier this morning in Gwinnett County. We learned that 4 people have died, and our Angelique Proctor joins us live to explain how this happened. Angelique, I understand that this shooting this morning happened in the vicinity of children, and one of them ended up calling for help. Is that true?
That is true. One of them courageous enough to pick up the phone and call police for help. We now know that child was just 12 years old. This is really just an unspeakable tragedy. Just this neighborhood really still in shock. Lots of people have been driving by to take a look at the scene of what happened here. But police have just given us some new information within the last hour. They now have released the name of the suspect in this case, as well as the victims. He is 51-year-old Vijay Kumar. And what we've learned is that he was actually from Atlanta, that Kumar drove here to Gwinnett County, according to what police are telling us, with his wife. Her name was Mimu Dogra. They got into an argument in Atlanta, according to police, then drove here to Gwinnett County with their 12-year-old.
It's cold, but it's cold too. Like, sometimes you can get it to be where it's like 10 degrees or so, and then you get like a wind chill, but the air temperature outside's cold too. Like it's barely 0 here. So that's, sometimes if you be patient and the wind's not blowing, it'll calm down a little bit, and it's actually fairly warm. But here, right now it's cold, and on top of the wind chill, it's colder. So it's crazy.
Child in that car. Now, once police say once they got here, Kumar shot and killed not only his wife but 3 other relatives. Now, police say just about 2 weeks ago, a male caller from this same house was in a dispute with his brother-in-law at that time. That was actually January the 10th. They called officers for help. Police say they responded, and the brother-in-law agreed to leave the scene. Well, this morning around
Okay, so hold on a second. We'll get a bearing of where the hell we are here. I think this is just outside of Atlanta here. So this is Gwinnett County here. Yep, it's just outside of Atlanta here. So, whoops. So there's Atlanta there. So this is Gwinnett County here. So I don't know if they're giving us the actual town name, but that's where this happened. Okay, so let's go back here. This is ridiculous here.
2:30 a.m. That is when this child called police and notified them of this shooting. We have been told that there were 3 children inside, one now 7 years old, another 10 years old, and then that 12-year-old who is the suspect's child, that they all hid in a closet, if you could imagine this, as this very violent shooting was happening. Just an unimaginable position for anyone, especially children. Now, Gwinnett police tell us that they arrived so quickly that suspect Kumar was still in the vicinity. We also talked with a woman who lives in this neighborhood and says she has dogs, and her dogs immediately realized something was wrong.
Her dogs barking. I think the dogs started barking, and that's what got my dogs all riled up, because Teddy and Simon hear sirens, but they don't bark at it. But they went ballistic, and it was scary I didn't understand what was going on. So I was totally shocked to see it was something really tragic so close.
Based on the information given by the child that called in, and what officers saw when they arrived, they still saw the suspect's vehicle in the driveway. So because they got here so quickly, they figured he was still close.
So they're calling this a horrific domestic unaliving. So the kids hid in a closet while this whole thing was going on. They're lucky, right? They're lucky to be alive.
So K-9 officers were dispatched and arrived on scene, and they located him in the wood line. It's definitely a tragic situation. For people dying at the same time, especially with children in the home, is very, very tragic. It's shocking to anybody.
And we are now getting information about Kumar's charges. He will face 4 counts of malice murder, 4 counts of felony.
What would cause somebody to? This is so weird. Like, how do these things happen? You got to be really upset for this to happen, right? Or you just, I don't know. To actually unalive 4 people.
Murder, as well as 4 counts of aggravated assault. He also faces 3 counts of cruelty to children, and there is definitely a lot of concern for those children. A lot of people wondering, certainly their lives will never be the same. What happens to them now? We are told, according to police, that they are now with family members.
Angelique, this is an absolutely heartbreaking story. I can only imagine how those children must feel, and the courage it took for that 12-year-old to call 911 knowing there was something wrong with their own parents. So, Angelique, as we look through this.
Hold on a second here. I got to play this because it deserves one of these, I think. Someone took his Oreos. Someone took his Oreos. Oh, this is the funniest thing ever. Too funny. Oh yeah, Heather, you don't know. I got new buttons here. I got This one here. And this one here. The gong is the best one, though. The gong is. I love it. My dad almost killed my whole family. He was an alcoholic and was in Vietnam, so he was unstable. Yeah, I mean, that's PTSD for sure. Sorry to hear about that. My father almost killed me too, but that's because he hated my guts. Of course, I didn't help much. Yeah, it's just these things are just awfully sad. Like, to be that angry to unalive 4 people. The person who did this probably didn't even know there were kids there.
This situation, I know the big question I think a lot of people are wondering is just how.
Like, it's possible the person was so bent up on rage that he just didn't know anybody else was there.
Why? How could a person do this? What was the motive or what led up to this? I know police haven't necessarily released that information, but any other big questions outstanding for you as you cover this tragic story?
All right, so Dino's gonna go to sleep now. This old man has to get some sleep. You are the best. Dino's an amazing guy. It's always good to see Dino here. Yeah, you too, buddy. Stay safe. Pops died of alcoholism at 38. Oh, that sucks, Heather. I was going that way too. I was a real. I am a completely different person than I was 30 years ago. I had really serious alcohol issues, sure. So I know what that's about. It's always good to see Mino Dino here, though. Have a good week, buddy. Stay safe. Barbara Hall's got Oreos. I love Oreos. I just can't eat them anymore. I'm too old. All right, so let's go here. What was I doing? This.
Well, as you said, the question of why is the one that's nagging at so many people. And police did say in their press release that they are not familiar with why. But I did talk to a neighbor today who says that she noticed a female that lives in the house behind me, and she used to see her sort of walking and pacing and crying and on the phone. And she says now that she looks back, it was obvious to her that there was something wrong. And so with them also coming here earlier in the month on January the 10th, that is an indication that there was clearly some kind of dispute, some kind of feud that was brewing. And certainly it seems, according to police, with this being a domestic shooting, has come to a head here in such a very tragic way.
Yeah, Angelique, thank you so much for keeping us updated and letting me know where we stand with this story. Appreciate.
All right, so that's that one there. I'll try to keep following that to see if we can get any idea of who the suspect is here. But 4 people are unalived. It's just terrible. All right, so I want some mint chocolate, or they have mint chocolate Oreos. I saw my uncle's Vietnam service record, hardly anything but redacted, blacked out stuff. That's awful. Couldn't find a better bunch of hoodlums if I tried. Hold on a second. Oh. I gotta stop. This is a true crime channel. All right. All right, so like I said, I'll keep an eye on that here. Let's go to this here because I was just finding out about this today. Apparently, this happened in Carver, Massachusetts, and this was from an hour ago. I don't know if this happened an hour ago, but let's play this here. You don't know if they make them anymore? That figures. If it's got mint chocolate chip, I'm all for it. Let's see here. This one here. All right, so let's check this out here. This came out The video came out about an hour ago. Let's see what's going on here. Plymouth County District Attorney Timothy Cruz said at a midnight press conference at Carver Police. So this is, this just happened like a midnight press conference. So what time is it now? So I missed this completely. So at a midnight press conference, the Carver Police began receiving multiple 911 calls around 7:22 p.m. for a pew-pewing at St. John the Baptist Club on Silver Street. I'll have to hold on a second. I'll St. John the Baptist Club on Silver Street. Let me Harvard, Massachusetts. So this I'll play this here. So this is the press conference, I believe. Let's play this here.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tim Cruz. I'm the Plymouth County District Attorney. I'm here tonight with Carver Police Chief Mark Dufley, Detective Lieutenant John Santos of the State Police, and all the State Police troopers that are working here right now. We have brief information for you regarding an event that occurred tonight. Earlier tonight, about 7:22 p.m., the Carver Police responded to multiple 911 calls reporting a shooting at St. John the Baptist Club on Silver Street in the town of Carver. Upon getting that information and upon arriving at the scene, the Carver Police located 4 individuals who were suffering from gunshot wounds. One victim, a 27-year-old male, was pronounced dead at the scene. A second victim, a 20-year-old male, was transported by Carver EMS to an area hospital, and he was also later pronounced dead. A third victim, a 28-year-old male, was flown by medical helicopter to a Boston hospital, and a fourth victim, a 32-year-old male, was transported by Carver EMS to a local area hospital. The alleged suspect, who initially fled the scene, was soon taken into custody by the Carver PD. He is currently being processed, and he will be arraigned next week, whether it be Monday or Tuesday, contingent upon the weather, at the Wareham District Court. Our office, the DA's office, is working conjunctively with the Carver PD and other law enforcement partners to determine exactly what happened. This just happened a couple hours ago. This remains an active and ongoing investigation. And if anybody has information for the Carver Police or the State Police, please provide that to us at your earliest convenience. As I said, this is an active and ongoing investigation. It is not a random act. There was one shooter. That individual is in custody, and this is not a random act, so that the people here in the town of Carver should feel safe. There's no ongoing threat. What happened here tonight is a terrible act of violence. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the individuals who passed away, and we are focused on holding the other individuals who are accountable responsible for these actions. Having said that, I'm going to ask Chief Dufley to say a few words, and then if we can answer questions, we will, but we very well may not be able to.
Thank you, DA Cruz. Good evening. First, I'd like to echo District Attorney Cruz's words. This was a heartbreaking incident, and our thoughts are with the victims and their families. Obviously, events like this affect everyone, especially in a small, tight-knit community like Carver. I'm very proud of our officers who responded quickly, secured the scene, worked with our other law enforcement partners from Plimpton and Plymouth, the Mass State Police, to get the gentleman in custody right away and make sure that we got medical aid to the victims. Again, I'm very proud of our officers and our public safety partners, Carver Fire, Carver EMS, and Plymouth Police, Wareham Police, and Plimpton Police that responded to help us out.
So if you have any questions, we'll try to answer them. But like I said, I don't think we'll be able to give you much. Yes, sir.
Clive Horton, Boston Globe. What's the relation between the suspect and the victims?
Well, that's part of the ongoing investigation. I will tell you that all the individuals, upon information and belief, knew each other, and that there was a party going on, a child's party at this location at or about the time of the event.
Like a family birthday party or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all the victims are related?
I'm not saying they're related. I'm saying my understanding is that they know each other.
This was an event, public gathering being held at this space. Are there typically police officers who are patrolling these types of events? Any type of public gathering? Is it normal to have police officers around at these types of gatherings?
Well, I don't think this is a public gathering. I think it's a private gathering. So therefore, I mean, normally I would not anticipate there being.
So this was pretty big news a few hours ago. That's why it probably popped up on my feed here. That's all right, Big Fish. You're good. We had a stray bobtail. Yeah, deer are freaking everywhere. I'm so they need to start clearing out some of the deer around here because there's just too many of them. I mean, they'll run right into your car. They don't care. Let's see here. Trying to find this address, but I'm not having any success here. The closest thing I could find was this is obviously some sort of a club here. So hold on a second here. Right here. So this is right in this area here, in Carver, Massachusetts. I don't even know if this is correct, but it could be. I'm kind of trying to back out of this here. I mean, it looks right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's so. There's Peabody there. Boston's up in here somewhere. There's Saugus. I worked in Saugus before, so it's there's Lynn. Okay, so there's Revere. Okay, so it's up here. There we go. I know where I am now. Yeah, right in here. I believe that's right anyways. Okay, so let's get out of this here. And then we'll go back to this press conference here for a couple of minutes and we'll move on to something else. Thank you guys for bearing with me here.
Police officers being in a private gathering.
Can you say that, like, the nature of the building in which this happened, like it was like a social club, or
Yeah.
what? Can you contextualize?
Well, as best as I understand it, it's St. John's the Baptist, which is a social club here in the town of Carver. It is not.
Yeah, I honestly don't mind usually a deer, but there's just so many of them around here right now that, usually you'd see a family of deer like once every, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles, maybe even one every 10 miles, but they're everywhere. I don't know. The other night, I don't know how I missed these guys. They were just they literally will dart right out in front of your car at night. Like they can't just wait another second before I go by them. They have to just jump right out in front of my car. So I think they need to be kind of filtered out. And I'm surprised they're not all dying from all the ticks around here. So it's just strange.
Not a church or a religious place.
Are there any details about the suspect you have in custody that you can share with us?
Not this time.
What's his age?
What weapon was used?
The firearm has been used, but as to the exact type and the exact amount of discharge that occurred with part of the investigation at this point.
His age?
Oh, do we have his age? I know we have it. Oh, yeah, I believe he's 22.
22?
22.
That's the suspect we're talking
Yes.
about? Okay.
Yeah.
And you said that a person that was flown by, I think, helicopter to a hospital, do we have like a condition on them, like threatening injuries?
The information I received approximately an hour ago is that both other individuals were currently in stable condition, but obviously they've been shot. I'm sure they're getting the best treatment possible, and we can pray for them. But obviously that's always subject to change.
How many people were there and how many children?
Unclear. That's still part of the investigation. Okay. All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
It's unclear. It's part of the investigation. You either know or you don't know. It's some of these questions and answers are just really dumb. Mino, have one of those Oreos. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll have to find those mint chip Oreos. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go back to this here. So I'll keep an eye on that there. Let's go to this first here. I want to go to this because we've been covering this forever here, but I have a feeling in this case here that they're getting really close. So hold on one second here. We'll play this here. I've been monitoring this for how many years have I been monitoring this case here, the Jennifer Kesse case here? And I always butcher the name, so sorry. You guys who have been here with me for a while now, I've been covering this case forever here. She's the woman that disappeared. Apparently she was going to work in the morning and she just disappeared, vanished, and no one's ever seen her again. They had the picture, they had the video of the guy walking by the fence there. So the family sued the Orlando Police Department to get the information for the case, and then they were awarded the information in the case, and then they gave it back, and now here we are. So they may be getting close to this year because I've been getting a lot of these updates here lately. So new DNA technology revive investigation into the 2006 disappearance of JK here, and this came out a day ago. So nearly 20 years after Jennifer Kesse vanished from her Orlando condominium, investigators say the case is gaining new momentum, obviously fueled by advances in DNA testing technology and renewed investigative focus. So let's go here.
20 years since Jennifer Kesse vanished in Orlando.
I don't know why I can't remember that. Kesse. It's Kesse and not Keese.
But this case isn't cold. Investigators say it's actually heating up. New DNA evidence, new technology, and renewed focus are giving her family something they haven't had in a long time: hope.
Investigators still think the grainy surveillance video could be the key to this case. But as Fox 35's Garrett Weimer...
Is Big Fish taking off? It's always good to see Big Fish here. Awesome person. Thank you so much for coming in every Saturday, Sunday night. Have a good night. Have a great week. Just stay safe. It's going to be pretty nasty out there for the next couple of days here. All right. It's always good to see Big Fish here.
Explains the focus is no longer on the person's face.
January 23rd, 2006.
Let's go back here a little bit. I want to hear this.
Years since Jennifer.
She's 24. She was 24, 5'2", 130 pounds, green eyes. She just disappeared. She was walking out to her car. This is very similar to Jody Huisentruit case, where she was walking to work, walking to her car, and then just took off. Nobody's ever seen her again.
Kesse vanished in Orlando. But this case isn't cold. Investigators say it's actually heating up. New DNA evidence, new technology, and renewed focus are giving her family something they haven't had in a long time: hope.
Investigators still think the grainy surveillance video could be the key to this case. But as Fox 35's Garrett Weimer explains, the focus is no longer on the person's face.
January 23rd, 2006.
So that's her car there, and apparently there was an imprint on the front of this car here. They're using AI to.
The last time anyone saw or heard from Jennifer Kesse, the 24-year-old went about her day like normal, but the next day was anything but.
I think everything in life changed. Everything.
Look, I'm just thankful there's people here. It's what time is it? It's 2:30 in the morning on an early Sunday morning. You guys are the real heroes here, man. I'm on really late. So I'm really thankful that there's actually people here. You guys are the best. I appreciate all of you.
The following morning, Jennifer left her Orlando condo for work and never arrived.
And this is a strange thing about Orlando. Even in 2006, you can't go anywhere in Orlando without being on camera, especially Orlando Kissimmee. I mean, there's cameras even back in 2006. There had to have been, I can't believe that they they have no. I mean, it just makes no sense to me. I've been to Orlando millions of times, literally, and you can't go anywhere without being on camera. Traffic lights. I mean, it's a vacation capital of the United. Everywhere, it's Disney. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. So I don't understand how they don't have better images than that.
24-year-old disappeared without a trace, setting off one of Central
The crazy
Florida's most
content
haunting
here for it.
mysteries.
Luckiest nursing. Luckiest.
Hold on a second.
Luckiest criminal.
Hold on a second. Crazy content. Okay, we're gonna get crazy content. Let's do the bounce. I love it. Oh.
Alive. To have footage parking her.
Mysteries.
Luckiest nursing. Luckiest.
This poor dad and these two people, they've been aging since when did I get into this? I got into this case, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe. How old am I now? 4. Yeah, about 5 years ago, probably. And this guy looks so much younger than this. The stuff here just ages people. Look at him now. But he every single day goes by, he just doesn't give up. This is you just don't give up on your kids, man.
Luckiest criminal alive. To have footage parking her car, backing out, parking it meticulously.
Okay, so Quad has a channel. Can I get that in the chat so I can go there? I'm pretty sure. Am I subbed to you yet? Tracy is freaking amazing. She's if you have a question and you want it answered, she'll probably be able to answer it for you. She's just like we would say in Boston, wicked smart. She's like wicked smart. Tracy's amazing. Thank you, Big Fish.
Wiping the car down, 32 seconds, and he walks away.
Today, 20 years later, Jennifer Kessie's case remains open, and her family says they're still hoping someone.
I'm gonna keep that up for a couple seconds. Look at this. This is typical Orlando, right? Like this, she's probably cold or she's got a sweater on, but you very rarely need that down here in Orlando. It's always like really, really nice weather here. But even like on a cool day, drier day, people will put on like these little sweaters here. God, I wish I was in Orlando right now.
Somewhere will finally come forward.
We're with incredible special agents right now. They're incredible. They're doing
what should have been done.
Stuff we don't even think of. So so we're in a good place.
With new eyes on the case and new technology too, the Kessies are.
So they literally sued. I think they went to court. They filed a civil lawsuit against the Orlando Police Department law enforcement, and they actually got the case files. They gave them the case files, and then I forgot what happened after that. I think they hired this guy. Spent so much money on this case here. He spent a lot of money with investigators, private investigators, stuff like that. But then I think the FBI got involved here. They allowed the FBI in, and now here we are here.
Hoping for.
Whoops, sorry. Hold on a second here. What did I just do?
Or new answers. FDLE has taken over the case and says it's no longer cold. Thanks to new DNA evidence, they have new persons of interest, and they could have more. They're using AI to zoom into this piece of video, a surveillance clip showing a potential suspect walking along a fence after parking her car. But the person's face is covered by every gatepost.
So every time this guy, whoever this is, walks by this fence post here, you can't really get a good image of the guy's face. because of these heavy posts here. So watch this.
Person's ear, though, could be the
So there's an image of him. I've gone through this. This is kind of like the Delphi thing here, where I've gone through this thousands and thousands of times from the walk from here to this fence post here, trying to get. It looks like he has some sort of I don't want to say painter's uniform on, but some sort of white, almost like maintenance type clothing on.
person's ear, though.
But it's hard to tell. There's the shoes there. I don't know if they've measured the top of this fence post here to see, because that's how tall he is.
Could be the key now.
That everything was truly done. That's possible to be done even in today's advanced world. Like we're using AI right now. They are using AI right now. We're hoping that's the breakthrough, to be quite honest with you, both in film as well as just the volume of information that it could take in and spit out.
And it has been being used to solve crimes for quite some time.
We're just on the cusp of what that will be used for.
The goal is to match the ear with every publicly available photo database.
There was a point that years had gone by and
Yeah, it's definitely could be cleaner. And you know, I'm hoping that they find out what's going on quickly with this case, because it's, you know, been a while. But that guy there could have nothing to do with this case, but they seem to think that he does. I know I think they have video of him moving the car, I think. I'm not sure, but
it just seems, I mean, leads come in. I just had a lead come into me yesterday, a very serious lead came into me yesterday. They still keep coming. They never stopped. And we thank everyone. One of these days it's going to be real.
it's just a sad case. This year, I mean, there's cases like this all over the place. There's the Jody Huisentruit case. There's what I'm following up here in Maine, which escapes my mind. Kimberly Moreau. Yep, that's the case there. But these disappearances here, you just I don't know. I just don't understand how they don't have more video of this whole abduction here. Because, like I said, Florida, that part of Florida is loaded with cameras.
Garrett Weimer, Fox 35 News.
All right, so definitely keep an eye on that. I've been following that forever, it seems, but I think they're getting close. We can play a little of this here, since I haven't played it for a while. Let's
read that.
While I queue up something else here. We won't play all of this, but this is for those who haven't seen this here. I'll kind of play this here.
We're doing everything we can to find you.
It's an awful story. It's incredibly real.
Oh, that's him right there. That's this was, I don't know when this was done. This was done 3 years ago. I mean, I've seen the progression of the aging of the parents here. It's just awful.
Relatable. You know, we all have daughters or sisters, mothers, and you know, you see folks who were just hardworking folks who knew immediately. I mean, that's what always is eerie to me. They knew immediately she was missing.
I'm investigative reporter Shannon Butler here in Orlando. For 16 years, I've been covering the case of Jennifer Cassie.
Do you know the name of that person there, the Indiana person? I'll have to look into that.
She was a 24-year-old woman who was just starting her life, a boyfriend, a recent promotion, and she had just purchased her own home. But one night after work, she disappeared. It is a mystery that has baffled dozens of detectives. And now you will hear a story about a parent's
I don't think that place is even there anymore. The Mosaic. It's turned its name something else, I think, because I can't find it.
Love, and their
But look at how young he is here. He looks so young. She does too.
willingness to risk everything to find her.
There's a curiosity about this case that exists also. A real feeling of injustice that they don't at least have the closure of knowing.
Johnny Ray Salisbury from Syracuse, India. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tracy. The hell am I right here?
At least part of what happened.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Casey, and I'm...
Let her go. We're not interested in prosecuting. We just want our daughter back.
These are the words no father wants to hear, let alone say. But in January of 2006, Drew Cassie found himself saying it over and over again.
Leave her in a safe place. You leave. Call and say where she is. We just don't care. We want her back. Our family is aching. Our family is aching.
And he and his wife are still saying those same words today.
I don't know how to reconcile in my own head that we may never have an answer. That we may never have an answer. And that is something that
It's the biggest challenge we have.
is our biggest challenge, is that like sometimes when we have these discussions, and how can you as a parent step aside and say,
Yeah, this stuff here gets really on me. Like this stuff, watching these victims, families try to find answers. This is just this guy's been going through this for, I don't know how people do it. I just don't. 20 years almost. Just crazy. Just absolutely insane.
your daughter Jennifer was the victim of a heinous crime. We don't know what happened. We know the day it happened. We don't know anything. We can't find her. We have nothing.
It was just around 6 p.m. when Jennifer Cassie left work here at Westgate Resorts. She called her dad on the way home.
That was it. Just said, oh, we'll catch up. You know, it's never long. It's just, you know, how you doing today and all that good stuff. We talk quite regularly. And that was the last I spoke.
Jennifer Cassie had just been with her boyfriend to St. Croix. She had left Rob Allen's house in South Florida and went right to work. On her way home, she made several.
Is that the?
We talk quite regularly, and that was the last I spoke.
Jennifer Cassie had just been with her boyfriend to St. Croix. She had left Rob Allen's house in South.
Here's, you know, I mean, you're probably not going to see too many cameras in this general area here, but anytime you come to a light or, I mean, even in 2006, because this is a pretty populated area here.
South Florida and went right to work. On her way home, she made several calls. She was headed back to the condo she had just bought. Jennifer Cassie's brother and his friends were staying at her condo when she was on her trip.
Thank you, Tracy. I really appreciate that.
One of those friends had left his cell phone at the condo and was anxious to get it back. Jennifer said she would mail that package the next day. When she got home that night, she called Rob Allen about 10 o'clock that night. He says they had an argument, but still the next morning, he expected to hear from Jennifer, as he always did.
That's just really strange. I always felt that to be kind of strange, that whole argument thing. But I'm pretty sure they've cleared him because the timing doesn't fit, right? He lived about an hour or so away, maybe even more than that. I mean, you cannot freaking tell me that there isn't cameras around here.
On her way to work. When he didn't, he decided he would call her. But when he did, there was no answer.
She left Monday morning, and then I talked to her throughout Monday.
So it's a Monday night.
In the meantime, a family friend and Westgate employee knew she had not shown up for work, so he called her parents.
The minute I knew that she was missing for 2 hours when she didn't show up for work, and I got the call at about 10:30 Tuesday morning, I knew something was wrong.
This is almost the same exact kind of situation that, I mean, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Jody Huisentruid cases. I mean, it's just all of a sudden this person just disappears, right? People talk to them before, from all over the place, but yet in a couple of short minutes, they just vanish.
Drew Kesse called his daughter's phone. There was no answer, so her brother and dad immediately headed north for the 2-hour drive to Orlando.
It's not the type of girl that would go more than 2 hours without talking to somebody, whether it was her mom on the phone or a boyfriend or her dad.
At her apartment, everything looked normal.
We do know that she did take a shower. She did get ready for work. She did take her Felice for work. Her towel was wet. General things. Nothing was disturbed in here at all.
But her car was missing. Their first stop, the Orange County Sheriff's Office. They were sent to Orlando police.
You always wonder if, maybe she was pregnant. Maybe there was some situations going on, like maybe, all of those types of scenarios always run through my head, because in cases like this, these types of cases, I'm not saying that the boyfriend's involved or anything like that, but it's usually always somebody really close. Like, I think it's like 60 to 70% somebody really close. But there's those underlying sometimes where it's not. And I think that's what they're thinking because of that video of that guy walking by the fence. But, I'm always a little bit hesitant and suspicious of people close, especially when there's some sort of a, what's the word I'm looking for? A correlation of an argument or something beforehand, right? Like, but I'm sure that they've, 20 years, they've probably vetted this guy here, the boyfriend, pretty good. And I'm pretty sure they've cleared him. I'm not sure.
Instead, the first two detectives showed up.
They didn't know if she left on her own or if she was lost somewhere. They didn't know what. They didn't know if anything nefarious had actually even happened.
Homicide Detective Joel Wright took over the case when the original detectives retired shortly after her disappearance. 4 years, this now retired detective worked the case. When you looked at that case 7 months later, I mean, that does seem like a long time, right? When you looked at that, when you first saw where it was, were you worried at that point that this may be difficult?
I was worried after 48 hours. I was worried a lot earlier than that, even though the case wasn't assigned to me at the time. I was worried then. And so needless to say, 7 months down the line with no resolution, I was extremely concerned.
But already her friends and family were mobilizing. Her sorority sisters were already out on the search, passing out flyers and standing by as officers canvassed Orlando.
Please bring her back. If you have her, please give her back. We would give anything to have her back. Anything at all.
And hours later, the Kesses were making headlines everywhere.
I don't think I'd ever picture myself talking on TV about my daughter being missing.
I remember that day so vividly because when we showed up at that complex, we had backed our truck into a parking spot. And from where we were, you could immediately see a stairwell that was right in front of Jennifer Kesse's condo. And in that stairwell was a blonde woman standing there. And we later knew it was Joyce Kesse, Jennifer's mother. And I will never forget the look on her face. You could see the anguish and you knew immediately that something bad had happened here. And you knew at that moment, that woman's life would never be the same. Sitting here today, do you have Any idea or thought, did she disappear at night or in the morning?
From the information I've gotten and and the information I trust, she made it, she got ready for work, she made it out her door, and she got to her car, and that's when things went bad. That's when I think it happened.
In 2006, Bill Moore was working with the Metropolitan Bureau of Investigation when he ran into Detective Wright.
And he told me, he's like, I think we have a real abduction here. And I shared the technology that NBI was capable of providing and the assistance, and we started down that path.
And what was that technology?
Cell phones, cell phone, collecting as much data as we could on her cell phone and inbound and outbound calls, everything.
Because back then, I mean, now we just assume that you guys do that.
Hold on a second here. Duck and Felonies is in here. Good to see Duck and Felonies. Hope you're well. Let's see here. Bad Man here, Freak. I think was in my crawl space for a week. What? Could have been in crawl for 10 days. Gave him 600 years. What the hell's that all about? Oh, it's terrible. Good to see Duck and Felonies in here. Monsters are real and they are out there. I kept waking up at night thinking someone was in my room. This went on over a week. I kept getting up, checking, but he was in here. Oh my God. Yeah, an entire registered vehicle doesn't just disappear. Yes, it's possible for sure. Let's see here. He was a brutal freak, a real monster, but yeah. That's awful. Yeah, she could be in the water for sure. Like I said, it's good to see Duck and Felonies in here. She may have crashed.
That all the time, right? Because that's just normal business now. But in 2006, it was fairly new.
In 2006, we were butting heads with telecommunication carriers. They were charging $4,000 to go up on a phone, a wiretap. This is just in a regular investigative case. And, like again, $2,000 and $3,000. And then if you wanted a certain service done, an extra fee on top of that. Sometimes it takes time to get the data or the information to craft an affidavit.
All right, so I just wanted to play a little of that. This I'll put this in. Let me put this in the chat. This is a great interview with this woman here. I've watched this, I don't know, maybe 1,000 times or so. All right, so there's that. All right, let's let me get out of this here. I do want to get into the missing person case of the week here, and I do want to cover another case here that came up again over here in Massachusetts. Was it Massachusetts? Might have been over the week here. All right, so this is part of the missing person's case of the week here. This is Albert Richardson's case, and they're getting a deeper look into this case. I don't think we've covered this before, so this is new to me too. This week, our missing series looks at the case of Albert Peanut Richardson, who vanished around Cane Island Loop and Here we go, back right in Kissimmee, Florida. Richardson was last seen in September, and his family says it was unusual for him to go for more than a few days without speaking to them. He did struggle with, these kinds of issues, but tells News Nation Marnie Hughes that Richardson was a loving father, friend, and family member. The area where he vanished is known for missing cases with the Arcella Sheriff saying of over 300 missing persons cases in 2000. They had over 300 missing cases in 2025. Investigators are hoping to find Richardson and inform him how worried the family is for him. So here we go with this here.
That isn't getting much attention. Every missing person matters, no matter their race, background, or circumstances. And by highlighting these cases and sharing their stories, we believe every case is solvable. And together we can bring answers to the family and friends of the
You're welcome, Paula.
Missing. This week's featured case is one that hasn't been covered until now. Albert Richardson, he goes by Peanut. He is a loving father of two, known for bouncing from place to place in Central Florida. But since September, his family hasn't heard from him.
Well, we're glad he's in prison. For sure.
The longest that he's been gone in the past was maybe 3 days. And he's always been around. He's always called my mom to check on her, make sure she's okay. Or he would call us up if he needed something or needed a ride from me. It was like, it wasn't a day, like there was days that I didn't hear from him, but my mom always heard from him every day.
Peanut's family filed a missing person report in September, but so far, no action and no sign of him. Coming up, a family taking matters into their own hands, trying to piece together the last few months, and they have become detectives themselves looking for Peanut. We have some other cases to tell you about that we have been following this week. The National Park Service is trying to find a missing tourist and his dog who went missing in the Outer Banks. 39-year-old Chris Palmer and his dog Zoe have not been seen since January 12th. Park rangers say they found his red Ford 250 truck on a beach at Cape Hatteras National Seashore in North Carolina. Chris, who is from Arkansas, was officially declared missing a few days later. In a social media post, his family says that Chris and his dog Zoe visit all sorts of national parks around the region, and they camp. Investigators are asking anyone who visited Cape Point the evening of January 11th to please contact them, and we have that number on your screen. There is a permanent gag order for the criminal proceedings against the California mother accused of killing her 9-year-old daughter. Ashley Buzzard was in a packed courthouse this week.
Remember this, this woman here. Good. I was going to cover this later too, but she's covering it right now for me here. So,
where the judge made that ruling. That includes sealing search warrants and affidavits in this high-profile case. Ashley is charged with shooting her daughter Melody in the head multiple times. Police say she left her body in a rural part of Utah.
That's so awful. Oh my God. Oh, I'm not even going to play that again. Oh, why?
The disappearance of Melody sparked a multi-state search and investigation. Ashley Buzzard's preliminary hearing will not take place for another few months, something that has frustrated family members. She has pleaded not guilty and is being held in custody without bail. Police in Portsmouth, Virginia are searching.
Thank you, Tracy. Update on Chris Palmer. His family found out that he has terminal medical condition and assume he took himself out on the ocean in a kayak. Thank you, Tracy, for that. There's Paula's channel right there. Hold on a second. Oops.
Searching for 3 girls who ran away from a treatment center in the area. Authorities say 12-year-old Forever Scott, 16-year-old Darsha McAllister, and 14-year-old Jocelyn Krofek were last seen on Sunday, January 19th at Harbor Point Behavioral Health Center. The CEO of the health center says that the girls left the facility without authorization.
Oops, what did I do? Sorry. Did I just stop the stream? Hold on, sorry. What the hell did I just do? Sorry. Let me get back here.
Scott, 16-year-old Darsha McAllister, and 14-year-old Jocelyn Krofek were last seen on Sunday, January 19th at Harbor Point Behavioral Health.
Oh, sorry. I'm sitting here. I don't know what just happened. I must have hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. I haven't done that in a while. All right, hold on a second. Thank you. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Tracy. Sorry.
Health Center. The CEO of the health center says that the girls left the facility without authorization. One of those girls, Forever Scott, is considered to be endangered, according to police.
Okay, so 15-year-old Jocelyn Krofek, 5'3", brown hair, black hair, brown eyes, last seen wearing black pajamas. I should put this on the link to here. Why haven't I heard of this?
Anyone with information about their whereabouts is asked to contact the Portsmouth Police Special Victims
There's Forever Scott, 12 years old,
Unit.
5'2".
Now to this
eyes.
week's featured case. When a person goes missing, we're used to seeing an urgent active search. Someone disappears and the community and the internet, many times the whole nation is engaged and hoping for answers. Well, this next case is the opposite. While Albert Richardson's family is looking.
See, they should have a button or something where if you're dumb like I am, you do that stuff all the time. That some sort of a warning comes out and says, "You're muted, dumbass," or I apologize, guys.
For the missing father of two young girls, not one article, and definitely not a TV news story until now. Richardson lives on the Frenches, yet now his family is growing increasingly worried. It's the epicenter of many a family vacation. Central Florida's theme parks attract visitors from across the world. But a stone's throw.
You can't get anywhere around here without being on camera. They got you coming, going. Even some of these light fixtures have cameras in them. I'm telling you.
From the epic fun lies a stretch of businesses and budget motels that welcomes tourists and often a grittier element.
Very decent, like a vacation area, which it was to some people, but then there was also other things, going on too as well.
Tiffany Richardson said it's in this area of Kissimmee off US 192 that her brother Albert was scratching.
It's Charlie Manson's in here. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Geez, 5'3" kids are tall nowadays, or are you just a midget? No, I think kids are a little bit taller. I think they say that every 20 years or so. I think there's actually some stats there. Charles was over 6 foot at 12. We're all just short. It's good to see Charles in here.
Out in existence.
My brother, he has a good heart. He's always been a good guy, always willing to do, for others. If he had it, then other people had it.
Albert Richardson III is known as Peanut to his family. 6 foot tall, his father recalls how he came a little early.
When he was born, he was still developing. When my ex-mother-in-law seen him, she thought, "Oh, he's like a little peanut."
His sister remembers a childhood where the two needed to stick close together. But as Peanut grew, so did his problems. Addiction, a 2-year stay in prison. Yet when he became a father of 2 beautiful girls, he strived for better.
Tried to do whatever he could for them when he did have them. He was a good father, and again, I really don't know what made him go down another path.
He got caught up with the wrong people. At times I would see him and I would say, look, you're going the wrong way. I can tell you you're going the wrong way, but sometimes you just don't want to hear it.
The 41-year-old's family opened up their couches, refrigerators, and wallets on a rotating basis. Many nights,
They call that enabling, I think, right? They call that, I don't know if you guys ever remembered that show there. What the hell was that? They used to do the people with addictions and stuff. They used to get them into a group setting where the parents were there. I forget rehab stuff. I forget what the rehabilitation something. They used to talk about that all the time. But when you keep giving people like this here that have addictions like that, they call that enabling, I think.
stayed in motels. And then this past September,
Intervention, there you
fell
go.
off the radar.
The longest that he's been gone in the
That's intervention, yeah. That word was escaping me for sure. Hold on, here we go. All right, I'm crazy.
past was maybe 3 days. And he's always been around. He's always called my mom to check on her, make sure she's okay. Or he would call us up if he needed something or needed a ride from me. It was like, it wasn't a day, like there was days that I didn't hear from him, but my mom always heard from him every day.
I showed him a picture. I said, have you seen Peanut? He's like, well, I know two Peanuts. Show him the picture. He's all that guy. Yeah. No, I haven't seen him in 2 weeks.
Richardson's father went to those motels he frequents, invited in to talk to a girl who knows him.
You have budget in West.
Things got dicey.
Sometimes when they smoking that stuff, it gets some paranoid. So all of a sudden, as I step in and I'm looking at this guy, and I hear some activity back here. All of a sudden, this guy just comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh no! And so
whenever you got to advertise that you have clean rooms, probably not a good thing, right? People just might expect that you're going to get a clean room, but they actually have to advertise, we have clean rooms. Eeks.
When I stepped in, I stepped back out and said, oh, no.
Even if you're a big guy, you don't know what you're running up against.
Osceola Sheriff's.
Unlike the other guys that might not have clean rooms.
Captain Kim Montez says her deputies took in Richardson's case and more than 300 others last year. Wow. And we found a recurring common denominator. Many, even children, go missing in the same area as Peanut.
The deputies that patrol those areas every day know those people that are in that area. And so when we do have somebody new come up missing, they reach out to the same people that they have been in contact with day in and day out.
Montez says a full-time missing detective canvassed that area in September after Richardson's family reported him missing.
And then when you reached out to us last week, we kind of just wanted to take another look at it. She actually drove out.
That was a pretty cool show. I don't understand why that area is so much like that. That is so weird because I mean, I can't iterate how much I've been there hundreds of times, literally. And you can actually get your there's some theme parks there where you can actually get your picture taken without even knowing it, and then ask for I forget what they used to call that. They used to be able to pay a specific amount of money, and then they take pictures of you, and then once your visit was done, they would give you the pictures of you being in there. It's like so I'm just saying there's so many cameras around there. It's just weird how so many people just go. 300 people is a lot of people, especially in the same area. That's telling me that there's something nefarious going on, I think.
To the area, showed his picture to some of the convenience stores that a lot of the homeless frequent, and two of those convenience store managers did say that they had seen him.
Deputies will try to find him personally to let him know his family is worried.
I don't want him to feel like he's not loved or he's being neglected because.
I mean, Florida is a big state. If you don't realize how big, I mean, Florida, it's a long, big state. So that has it going for it too. And it always seems like
we love him dearly, and
it always seems like in Florida, you're driving somewhere, wherever. I mean, things are just far apart in Florida. You're always in the car driving somewhere because nothing is really close.
just want to see him just get better and do better and just be there for his girls because his girls need him.
The sheriff's office tells us technology plays a big role in finding people in this area, even people off the grid. Facial recognition cameras throughout the area, facial recognition tools on social media can also help close many of these cases. Joining us now to talk more about Peanut's disappearance, his sister, Tiffany Richardson. Tiffany, thank you for being with us. I was pretty surprised to hear that your brother's disappearance had gotten no attention, not online, not in local TV reports. Why is that?
I'm not really sure. I often wonder that. I mean, we've put it all over the.
I remember one of the first few times I went to Florida. We have what they call French crawlers up here, and it's a donut. You can get them at any Dunkin' Donuts or it's a French crawler. It's specifically a specific type of donut. They have no idea what that is down there. You ask for a French crawler, they're like, what the fuck is that?
All over the social media platforms. I've even gone around to ask people, and every time I ask, I always get, different stories from people. So I really don't know what to believe at this point.
But you did all file a missing persons report in September. Take us back to that time, and who was the last person in your family or friend group to speak with, or see Peanut?
So back in September 28th was the last day that my mother actually saw.
A French crawler? Dude, wonder if she's related to the tree fucker. I don't know, man.
My brother. She was the last one to see him.
And what did she say at that point? Anything unusual? And what did he say?
She didn't think anything was unusual that day, when he left, because again, like I said, he was
on here. I know that this isn't true crime related here, but somebody asked. So this is a French crawler right here. They're really good. I don't think they're pronounced crawler maybe, but this is what they are. All right, let's get out of here. Go back here.
Always, he never went missing this long. He would always call my mom every day and check up on her, make sure she was okay, or if he needed something. So we didn't think, a couple days went by. We thought maybe he needed some time to himself, but then a week went by, and then we said, hey, something is going on. Something very unusual is going on, because he hasn't called us or anything.
Yeah, and a week turns into a month.
I know you can't go anywhere in Florida these days without paying a toll. You literally need to take out a mortgage on your house. If you want to go anywhere around the theme parks, you're going to get tolled and fucking tolled and tolled. It's like $300 just to get down the street. Dang Oreos, donuts. I'm not trying to eat sweets before bed, but sorry. Oh.
Turns into now several months and still no sign of him until we contacted police and they took another look at this case. And I want to talk to you about the convenience store employees who say they saw him. Anything more you can share on that? The when, the where?
So it was off of 192 in Siesta Lago in Kissimmee, Florida. And I did stop by there to once I got off a day after, because I was currently in New York at the time. But when I got back here to Florida, I did stop by there to ask them, hey, have you seen my brother? But the store clerk there said that he hasn't seen him in a long time. So I'm not sure which store clerk said that they saw him recently, but they did tell me that they would, reach out to us if they saw him again.
How about surveillance, Tiffany, in the area, whether it's the motel or these convenience stores? Have police been able to review any of that, to your knowledge?
Not that I know of.
Okay. How about digital clues? I mean, did he have a phone, a bank account, or access to a credit card?
The only thing that I'm aware of that he had was a phone, but we were not able to reach him by message or by phone call.
And no pinging of the phone, has that been ruled out as an option?
I wish, but no.
Okay. Tell me about this area where your dad went to try to look for Peanut, this motel, and more about who he talked to.
When is Valentine's Day? You're out of here on Valentine's Day. I need a laptop. This is hold on a second here. Let's so this is kind of like Kissimmee here. Kissimmee's right here. It's basically before you get to the theme parks. But there's a lot of water around here too. So I think somebody said that earlier in the chat where you could be in the water somewhere here. So let's go take a little ride here. I mean, you're going basically north here. There's the turnpike. So if you want to pay tolls, that's where you go. Trying to get to Main Street here. But there's cameras all up and down these boulevards here. It's just beautiful down here. It just really is. All right, let's get out of this here.
So this motel is more so, people who are on vacation who want to stay there, people who unfortunately don't have a place to live, so they're there temporarily. So my dad went.
I got no time for a stop sign. On a laptop, gotcha. Thank you, Paula. February 14th is Valentine's Day. Thank you. So I got a couple weeks
there to go check because he had overheard that my brother knew a lady that was currently staying there at that hotel. So my dad decided.
Does anybody think this is related to drugs or something, or prescriptions? That's what this sounds like to me.
To go over there to see if he was there, but unfortunately he didn't get the answer that he was looking for.
Vicarious Vigilante is still here. Stop sign. Oh, it's out that stop sign. Yes.
For
yeah. Did your brother have a car?
Palm trees. You miss a palm tree when it's 20 below zero and you're going to get 2 feet of snow.
For access to transportation?
He did have access to transportation.
Like what?
Just the bus, Uber,
Got
walking.
it. Okay. Being a father, it sounds to me, based on what you've shared, it was something he treasured. Tell me about what that meant to him.
It meant a lot. His girls mean a lot to him. He is a great father. Whenever he's with his daughters, he takes such good care. And again, he has such a good heart. You know, he makes sure that they have, you know, what they need when they're with him. So it's just, it's heartbreaking because, you know, his girls are looking for him and they're wondering where he is. And it's just.
Valentine's Day is chocolates and flowers. That's what that means. And I got to remember that because if I don't,
I wish we could find him so that, you know, his girls could have him back.
Yeah. Anything else, Tiffany, that's distinguishable about your brother for people to look out for? I mean, obviously we see his picture, but anything else that would help people recognize who he is or how he walks, perhaps?
He has like this, I don't know how to say, it's like a, I don't know. He's unfortunately, you know, the way he used to look, and now it's just like, you know, unfortunately because of that addiction.
You don't get let down on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is about chocolates and flowers, especially if you're a girl. Yep, I didn't pick the day. You're leaving Florida?
And has taken a toll on him. So he does have a short.
Oh, I forgot to mention congratulations to Indiana University, man. That's awesome. They just who would have thunk? They just steamrolled everybody, man. They just they took everybody out. They deserve to win that. They that was a good football team.
You know, low faith the last time that I saw him. And his walk, I mean, I can't even describe how he would walk. It's like almost like a cool guy walk almost.
Okay. Any tattoos or anything like that?
No tattoos.
Okay.
You don't get chocolate and flowers?
Okay, and but probably
I don't get chocolate and flowers either, though. So
piercings.
Yeah, but he no longer has it. He used to, but he no longer has it. The last time I saw him, he had a black T-shirt on with dark blue jeans, and again a low fade. That was what I saw him in the last time that I, you know, seen him.
Okay. What would you want your brother to know about how much he's missed and loved?
He is missed dearly. I mean, my family, that's all we talk about every day. We pray, you know, just hope.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah, get flowers for yourself. Get yourself flowers. That's a good idea. Just get some of your own damn chocolates and your own damn flowers. Native American Child's BPC. I agree with Peggy too, for sure. I don't think I'll take the chocolates. I don't know if I want the flowers.
And that he's okay and that he makes it back home. I just want to let him know that he is very loved.
I love my plants though. I got I'm a big plant guy. I got my plants over there, one over here, a couple over there. I love plants for sure. They're the best pets to have. All you gotta do is kind of water them, take care of them, and they don't talk back to you. They don't ask for anything. They're great pets.
And he's very cared for, and just please come home, you know. We just want to see you get better and do better in life, you know. So if you're watching, is there anybody who sees this, who has seen him, please tell him to come home or just give us a call and let us know that he is okay.
Yeah. Are you his big sister?
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
You are.
Oh, that sucks. That's so sad. That's awful. I don't know. This sounds like he either took off on his own or I don't know. Definitely extremely. I wonder what the cops are doing.
All right. Tiffany, thank you. It's unfortunate this case hasn't been covered, but we'll do our best to get as many people involved and that can see it as possible. Thank you so much for jumping on and talking to us.
And thank you so much for having me.
All right. If you
Father's Day. All right. So, yeah, I mean, this is, I don't know what police are doing. But anyways, this is the information. Albert Richardson, the Osceola Sheriff's Office. If you have any information with this, 407-348 2222. And that's that for Albert Richardson. I'll keep an eye on that there. He was last seen. Hold on a second. Maybe I can pull up some information on this here. Albert Richardson. All right, let's see if I can give me 2 seconds here. Okay. They don't have anything. It's really hard to find anything on him. The Osceola, let's share this here. Hold on a second. This is coming right from the sheriff's office here. Right here. The Osceola County Sheriff's Office asks for the community's help locating a missing person. So they're calling this a missing persons case. Albert E. Richardson, date of birth 8/13/1984, male, race black, hair black, brown eyes, 5'11", 160, missing from the vicinity of Cane Island Loop, Kissimmee, Florida. And that's it. If you have any information about this person's whereabouts, don't hesitate to call. And that's it there for that. Let's see here if there's anything else. It's so hard to get any type of information on these people at all. But anyways, I'll keep an eye on for that. It is a missing persons case, so maybe they'll get some more information here. Hoosiers. There you go. That's fucking classic. Oh, that's a good one there. All right, so let's move on to something else. I do want to move on to this here because I'll be covering this, I think, next week. I just need to get some more information on this. But there's another push for this case here. So this is the renewed push for Woburn, Massachusetts, Melanie Melanson teen who vanished nearly 40 years ago. Let me pull up some information on this too here. Okay. Let me make sure I'm sharing this. Right, here we go. Yes, both championship games are today. After this video here, I'm going to quickly do a recording of my picks for the AFC and the NFC championship. I'm pretty sure that the Denver game is on it, the early game, and then the Seattle game's on later. Let me hold on a second here. Let me play this here. So, nearly 40 years ago, after Woburn teenager Melanie Melanson disappeared, her cousins are behind a new push to find her. And this is coming from my buddy over there at Boston 25 News, Bob Ward. So here we go.
I'm Boston 25's Bob Ward. Back in 1989, 14-year-old Melanie Melanson, a high school freshman, vanished from town. I featured her case on New England's Unsolved. Now, Melanie's family has never given up their search, and now her cousins are behind a new push to help bring Melanie Melanson home.
We feel that Melanie deserves a proper burial and that the folks that are involved are helping.
Thank you, thank you, Paula. Hold on one second. Let me get some information on this here. Okay, so there she is right there. This is interesting because this is Woburn, Massachusetts, and this is 1989. So 14. So this is Melanie Jo Melanson, November 1st. She was born November 1st, 1974. Woburn, Massachusetts. We know where that is. Disappeared October 27, 1989. That's strange. Stoneham Woburn line. 36. This I don't know when this was on 5/3. Melanie was a freshman in high school and looking forward to change of schools. At the time of her disappearance, she was living with her grandmother, yet maintained contact with her parents. She was asked to attend a party on the evening of October 27, 1989. On the day of her disappearance, Melanson and a friend left school early and decided to go home. That night, she told her grandmother she was going to have a sleepover at a friend's house. I wonder how true that is. The friend was also her next door neighbor. Melanson used the story to cover her attendance at the party. See, what did I tell you? The party was held at a patch of woods near an industrial park. Melanson was the youngest guest there. She went with a group of 5 male friends. The party did not end until early the next morning. That sounds like parties, like years and years ago. All these parties were outside. The party did not end until the next morning, so no one knew who knew Melanson saw or heard her returning from the party. All right, let's go here. Here we go.
Held accountable.
Billy Sue Hutchins was just 9 years old when her older cousin, Melanie Melanson, disappeared. Billy Sue remembers Melanie's vibrant spirit.
Christmas Eve, we would pack in 15 to 20 cousins and into a room and have Christmas Eve, and she was so much fun.
Melanie Melanson was last seen on October 27, 1989, at a party with other teens in the woods of Woburn. Over the years, there have been extensive searches of those woods and at other locations in Woburn. Soil samples collected in the area tested positive for the presence of human decomposition, but Melanie has never been found. Billy Sue is among a group of cousins determined to find.
All right, let's go here. Polly Walnuts is here. Good to see Polly. 18 inches. Yeah, we're going to get, I don't know, 20 or so here. But it's all going to, here it's going to be light snow. It's not going to be heavy ice, kind of compacted snow. So, and the wind, I don't think there's going to be much wind. No. It's going to be freaking cold. It's 0 right now. Okay, so here's Woburn, Massachusetts here. This is very interesting, this case here, 1989. So there were technically 2 SKers running around in 1989 in this area here. You had the New Bedford unalivings down here in Connecticut. And I forget the other one now. But anyways, so here's Woburn. There's Boston right there. So Woburn is like a stone's throw away from Boston. Literally, it's right there. I used to work in Woburn a lot here. There's Burlington right there. This is strange here. It's on, did he say it was on the, I could go down here if I had to. All right, let's get out of this here. Hold on a second. This is strange. This is a strange case. I'm gonna have to look into this one here.
Melanie.
We do know that she was murdered. I mean, we've come to accepting that that did happen. What we can't accept is that she just doesn't have a proper burial.
The family is setting up a new website, MelanieMelanson.com, to spread awareness. They're launching a GoFundMe to raise money for a larger.
It's -2 where you are. Yeah, it's going to be colder than that. It feels like death. If you walk outside, it's what death feels like. It's very cold. I think it takes maybe approximately 20 minutes or so to get frostbite in this stuff here. So that's her right there.
That reward now stands at $5,000. And Woburn police are assigning a new detective to Melanie's case. After all this time, Billy Sue and Melanie's family hope someone will give them the information they need.
Have a conscience and finally do the right thing. And let's lay Melanie to rest in a proper way.
This October will mark the 37th anniversary of Melanie Melanson's disappearance. It's hoped that someday soon her family will have justice. If you have any information about what happened to Melanie Melanson, you're urged to contact police in Woburn. In Woburn, I'm Bob Ward for your local station, Boston 25 News.
Okay, so I'll keep an eye on that. 70 there. Is 70 cold for you guys? Because I know when it's 70 down there, my mother puts the heat on a little bit down there to get the chill out of the house. All right, so let's get out of this here. I want to go here. This is another kind of missing case here.
The 21st.
All right, so yeah, I mean, when it's 80 and 90 all the time, 70 or 60s, high 60s can sometimes feel kind of chilly, especially down in Florida, down there, because it just dries out really quick. But I love 70s. It's better than 0. That's for sure.
On tonight's Utah's Miss.
All right, so this is out of Utah here. This happened a couple days ago. Family members of Marty Justice haven't seen or heard from him in more than 3.5 years since he disappeared in Uintah County. I think we covered this a little bit before. The Uintah County Sheriff's Office shared on August 24th, 2022, that Justice was last seen, that this person was last seen on July 8th, 2022. He was wearing an ankle monitor at the time because he was on probation with AP&P. All right, so here's this.
Missing. We're looking at a case in Uintah County. We're taking a closer look at the disappearance of Marty Justice. It's been more than 3.5 years. Marty was last seen July 8th, 2022 in Uintah County. He was 52 at the time. He was wearing an ankle monitor with adult probation and parole. The monitor tracked Marty to the Deep Creek area, but no sign of him other than a vehicle there. No contact with family or friends since that day, but I spoke with Marty's sister earlier today.
A typical work day. He was getting ready to go to work up at Deep Creek Ranches, which is north of the LaPointe Cemetery. And he was living with my dad. My dad had cancer and he wasn't feeling very good, but Marty asked him how he was doing, told him he loved him and that he would be back that night. And that's the last time a family member got to see him.
What is it about the 8th for you that makes that number, that day, every month just so tough?
It's a reminder that he's not here. That's the day he went missing, and it was a really emotional day. My dad was really upset, and he had stage 4 cancer and trying to get the sheriff's department to try to go help look for him. And because, you know, by that evening, people just, something wasn't right. People, you know, knew something wasn't right.
Did they search for him? Did they spend time combing the area looking for him?
Well, they said they had sent an officer out there that night, but they didn't find anything.
So I'm going to keep working on this Melanie case too here, because I just got sent that earlier this week, and I'll try to get a little bit more deep into that next time. It's a very interesting case on my end here.
The next day, however, they did find the vehicle he had been driving. But for us, there was some stuff left in the vehicle that made it really kind of a...
I just don't know how you find missing people in Utah, right? Like, it's a big state, and there's a lot of places to hide people, and there's a lot of places to go, and I just don't know how they ever find people there.
Suspicious circumstance, since there was this guy that had threatened to get rid of him, and he was brazen enough to tell my dad that. So, and the officer was informed of that night. And he did work with my dad that night and try to help my dad. We were also worried he could have been out hiking and been dehydrated.
Yeah, that's a problem with the dish. You got to get out there sometimes, and we loved dish though when we had it. But that was years ago. Now, I don't know so much because we've had it. Had it with cable. It's just not. It's just not worth it.
Or gotten hurt and was needing medical attention. So things were pretty tough at that time because our family had a lot going on at the same time.
We'll get to the search in just a moment. To give you a better idea of where this took place, Uinta County, eastern Utah, north of the town of La Pointe here in the Deep Creek area. Marty's father tried to do what he could to find Marty, despite having stage 4 cancer at the time. The two lived in Vernal together. Marty's father passed away later that year, just months later, in November 2022.
We were all making phone calls. People were going out there looking for him. Then there comes a certain point where you're like, well, if he needed medical attention, we didn't get to him. You know, so it's just, you have so many different scenarios going through your head of what could have happened. And it's all just guesswork. And sometimes it's hard working with people that you don't feel like are really listening.
Oh my God.
The search and rescue for the tribal also helped.
No, snow here in New England in January is a pretty much given, right? Like, you know, you're going to get it. I mean, there's nothing you can really do about it. And it lasts, you know, for a couple of months and it's gone. That's the good news. But if you live here in New England and you're not expecting snow, I would move. It's going to happen.
me. I reached out to the tribe, and they also did do some searching, on some of the tribal land.
If we don't get snow here, then that's probably a bad thing. Like we've had a couple years where here we haven't got any snow at all. There was one year it was like in the 60s in February, but that doesn't happen often. It's usually like this, cold and snowy.
And stuff like that. And so I have spoke with BIA and somebody at that time that was with Search and Rescue for the tribe. I've heard that Search and Rescue for Uintah County also.
Yeah, they'll definitely get Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, the entire Eastern Seaboard, including the Mid-Atlantic states, are going to get, just annihilated. Especially some parts of the Deep South will get some ice too. That's the last thing they need is ice.
So has worked out there, and the sheriff's department, and that they've got detectives on it now. So I do want to acknowledge what they've done and let them know that we do appreciate what they've done.
I'm sure at this point you just want something about where he went, who he was with, correct?
Right. I mean, it's just like he disappeared into thin air, and I don't believe in space aliens. So I don't think some space alien came and got him. But who knows? But yeah, because, and if he's passed away,
52 is last seen. I'll have to go through this. Law enforcement was able to track Marty's ankle monitor to a road in Deep Creek where it stopped transmitting. Do you think he just kind of took off?
we would like to let him be at peace, So on the slim chance he's alive, I would just tell Marty, reach out to your family. We love you and we miss you. But at this point, most of the people are talking about him in the past 10.
This is terrible. Yeah, it's going to start Philly in about an hour. It's supposed to start here around noontime. So I'm sure once it gets through Pennsylvania, it'll be making a beeline towards us here for sure.
That's been a long time to go without hearing from a loved one.
Well, it's gotten to the point for the family. You just heard they just want some sort of closure, not knowing if Marty is still alive or deceased. His sister shared how much time she spent trying to figure out what has happened to her brother.
You can have our snow if you want it.
I did a lot of stuff on my own that was getting really hard. We had people going out there looking for him physically, but I was going around to stores and asking people and showing his picture. There was places I would call if I heard of something, that I could be a possibility, I'm not calling around like that anymore, and I'm not going around talking to the homeless people, asking them questions. It was getting really hard to try to be doing that stuff by myself. So after a while, you just have to put it in God's hands and hope something.
So I just did a quick AI search here. Most modern ankle monitors are water resistant, allowing for showers and in some cases shallow short-term submersion. However, swimming, bathing, or hot tubs are generally prohibited, as prolonged submersion can damage the device and trigger tamper alerts, which are often treated as violations. So if you submerge, like say he decided he wanted to take off and submerged his ankle monitor in water, it would usually prohibit it, and it can cause damage to the monitor or trigger a tampering alert, which means not good. they'll probably send out somebody to try to find you. But it doesn't say anything about water. Device will get wet and not function properly. So maybe it's possible. I just wanted to do a quick look on that there. Fishy's taking off. Good to see you, Fish. Hope you have a good week. Always good to see you here in the chat. Stay safe. Always good to see you here. Fishy's awesome.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
So back on April 11th of this past year, 2025, Marty's son, Jaden, wrote a lengthy social media post. It reads, "My father, Marty Justice, has been missing since July 2022. I need help, information, or just anything about him. I just want to know where my dad is. This man has raised me my entire life. He's been the best father, best friend I could ever have. He was always there for me no matter what. I know my dad has had his bad moments, but he has many more good ones than bad. I'm sure a lot of people in this town, Vernal, Utah, know my dad and can share great things about his personality. He would do anything for anyone. He would give up his very last possessions to make others happy, especially his kids, who meant everything to him. And now that he has become a grandpa, his grandkids have become everything to him too. He wanted to be part of every moment of their lives for as long as he could. And he's barely gotten to see any of that, maybe a year. I can tell you right now that he was always there for my daughter and us whenever we needed him. He would take her to chase chickens in the backyard in her stroller on a daily basis. He wouldn't have just gotten up and left, especially abandoning his kids and the granddaughters that brought him so much new joy. Again, I can't explain what I'm going through. I have no idea how to
Have a great week, Fishy.
feel about this. I just hope we can get closure or something. I know someone must know more about this. They just have to. Please, anything would be appreciated. I spoke with a sergeant at the Uintah County Sheriff's Office today who shared some interesting things about this case. It's still very active. The sergeant telling me they've been following up on every lead and every tip, even conducting an interview with someone on this case just within the last few weeks. According to the sheriff's office, Marty texted his girlfriend at the time and told her that he was going to cut off his ankle monitor and that law enforcement would never find him. Again, he was last seen July 8th, 2022. The sheriff's office confirming to me they never found any of Marty's clothing or anything else outside of the vehicle that he was driving. Here are some photos they also shared with me. They also mentioned having spent more than 15,000 hours working this case. Numerous searches in the Deep Creek area involving canines, helicopters, airplanes. You're seeing aerial video from a search here. They filed search warrants for phone records. Those pings hit specific towers, but they weren't much help. The sheriff's office conducted a search for Marty as recent as November 2025. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Marty Justice, reach out to the Uintah County Sheriff's Office, 435-789-2511.
All right, so that's the end of that. I'll keep following that there. I just wanted to play that update on that. It's possible that he just took off. But it does seem a little weird. All right, so we're going to go over this here. Let's see. Let me share this here really quick. Because for those people who don't think that this stuff happens, it does. This is a cold case here. A Dallas set to exonerate a person who was wrongly executed for an unaliving in 1956. So I think it's 6, 7, 8 maybe percent. More like 7 or 8% people are wrongly convicted. I think it's 6%, 6 or 7 or 8, somewhere in that range. And that can be skewed either way, really, to be honest with you. So Wednesday is expected to be one of the most significant moments in the history of Dallas County Commissioner's Court. Evidence will be presented and the resolution is expected to pass declaring the man arrested for unalived by Dallas police and later executed in the Texas death chamber was in fact innocent of the crime. So here we go.
Moments in Dallas history could happen later on this week. So what's happening here? County commissioners are expected to exonerate a man who was convicted and then executed for a murder the county now says 70 years later that he did not commit.
It's a little too late. Sorry. Right. It's past the shelf life of I'm sorry.
JD Miles tonight looking back at the case and how a broken justice.
Hold on. This is time for this. I shouldn't be doing that.
The system could have led to such a shameful chapter of our history.
Looking into his eyes on this film from inside a Dallas courtroom, you can only imagine what was going through the mind of Tommy Lee Walker. His unbroken stare into the camera appears to look for reason and fairness that too often didn't exist in 1956.
The said warden is hereby directed and commanded to pass and cause to be passed through the body of you, Tommy Lee Walker, a current of electricity of sufficient intensity to cause the death of you, Tommy Lee Walker.
A judge sentenced the 21-year-old to death in the electric chair for a murder that overwhelming evidence shows he didn't commit.
It's not difficult to fathom probably what happened. They grabbed the first, quote, Negro, they saw.
Dallas County Commissioner John Wiley Price says that period in the city's history was scarred by racial injustice. It was in this part of Northwest Dallas near Love Field in 1953 when a 31-year-old woman was murdered at night while walking to a bus stop. There were no witnesses, no evidence left behind, just racial hysteria and unfounded claims that it was committed by a black man.
The Klan was basically rampant here.
Tommy Lee Walker.
Yeah, he was executed. He was, I believe he was electrocuted. This stuff here happens. It happens more than people think it does.
Lived across town from the murder scene near a park close to Baylor Hospital. He was among countless young black men rounded up for questioning, with some in the white community demanding justice, even at the cost of arresting the wrong man.
And that's kind of what happened here, I guess.
Yeah, from all the evidence that has come to light, that's exactly what happened. And I guess, the real travesty of this is that Tommy had an alibi.
9 people confirmed Walker's alibi that on the night of the murder, he was with his pregnant girlfriend, who gave birth to their son the next day.
Now, do you have anything to say why the sentence of law should not be pronounced against?
Like, what is he going to say? I'm innocent. 99.9% of the people say they're innocent.
Still, he was arrested for...
Hold on a second. That deserves this.
Uh, 4 months after the crime. He says after hours of threats and promises, he was coerced into giving a false confession that he immediately tried to recant. He professed his innocence to the judge after he was convicted and sentenced to death by an all-white jury.
I feel that I have been tricked out of my life. There's a lot of other people have been convicted for crimes that committed and was turned loose. I haven't did anything, and I'm not being turned loose.
I can't even fathom, JD. It's extremely difficult for me to fathom.
5,000 people attended Walker's funeral, and it's taken 70 years for Dallas to face what in all likelihood was a terrible injustice. The story of Tommy Lee Walker is more than a history lesson. It's a dark, disturbing, cautionary tale of race and its impact on the justice system, which resulted in a young, innocent man being executed by the state of Texas.
The last thing he said before he was executed is, "I'm innocent."
On Wednesday, Price says the Dallas County.
I mean, they all say that. Everybody, you will go to any jail, any prison. People, everybody's innocent. But like I said, I think it's around 7%. 7% of, and I don't think that number is decreasing any, because you would think that it probably would with newer technologies coming into focus here. You know, forensics. Phone forensics, all kinds of different tools that people have, but I don't think that the wrongly accused are dropping any. I think it's actually staying. I'd have to do some more research on that, but I'm pretty sure that it's staying pretty consistent at 7 or 8%, somewhere around there.
County Commissioner's Court will have evidence of the case presented during a special meeting. And
I mean, it sounds like a small number, like 7 or 8%, right? But that's actually a really high number. It's a bad number. It's a number that should be down to below 1% when you think about it.
Then decide whether to pass a symbolic resolution exonerating a man who paid the ultimate price for being wrongly accused.
This guy here died for no reason. He died because he was wrongly convicted and he was executed for it. And now 70 years later, they're saying, "Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that to you." Like, fuck you, like
accused of murder.
We think it's appropriate. We may be the first court in the country to do this.
What is this moment going to mean for you?
The arc of justice bends.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's just it's murder. When you think about it, it's murder. They just murdered this guy for no reason.
Towards justice.
Price says Walker's now 72-year-old son will be there to hopefully see with his own eyes the justice his father's eyes seemed to desperately search for but could not find on that day in 1956. J.D. Miles, CBS News, Texas.
It's awful. This is terrible. Okay, so let's get out of this here. I do want to play a couple more things and then I'll get out of here. This seems to be taking on a lot of traction too. They should pardon him. It's very nice to pardon him, but he's dead. I mean, it's not going to really do much good. Let's go here. This seems to be taking on a lot of traction too. This Colonial Parkway unalivings here. Between 1986, we played this before, but this is kind of like a timeline here. Between 1986 and 1989, at least 8 people were unalived near or along Virginia's Colonial Parkway by an apparent SKer. In 2024, suspect named Alan Wade Wilmer Sr. was positively linked to the unalivings of 2 of those victims, David Knobling and Robin Edwards. Wilmer, who passed away in 2017, was also connected to the 1989 unaliving of Teresa Howell. In 2026, the FBI determined that Wilmer was also connected to the unalivings of Kathleen Thomas. So they've added 2 more to this one guy here in the Colonial Parkway unaliving. So, and this is interesting here because I'm trying to get some more information of this here because, everybody's going to say this, but I'm pretty sure this guy's capable of being attached to many, many more. And unfortunately, again, this guy's undead, so it's not like he's going to see any repercussions from this. But I just wanted to play this because they've added 2 more names to this this guy here. Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to end up suing They're probably going to end up suing the court system and all of that stuff, and rightly so. I mean, they just took a life for no reason. It's called murder in my book. But does it really do anything? Probably not. So this couple was last seen by witnesses on William and Mary campus in or around October 9th here. So this is like between, I would say, the mid 80s to the end of the 80s, somewhere around there. But hold on a second. Let's play. No, keep playing this one here. Oops, sorry. I'll put this in the chat too here. Okay, so let's play this one here.
Tonight in the Colonial Parkway murders dating back to the late 1980s.
And the FBI's Norfolk field office says it has linked 2 more murders to Alan Wade Wilmer Sr., bringing the total to 6 confirmed victims. Derek Lytle spoke to the brother of one victim named today. And Derek, this has been a long time coming.
Yeah. Hey, Connor, Janet, I spoke with Bill Thomas, the brother of Kathleen Thomas, who was murdered in 1986 with her girlfriend, Rebecca Dowski. He says this is an overwhelming day for his family, but he believes investigations are not done and more will come to light moving forward. FBI Norfolk field office attributes critical breakthroughs in forensic science and DNA analysis not available at the times of the Colonial Parkway murders to today's announcement.
Alan Wade Wilmer Sr., a Lancaster County fisherman who died in 2017, murdered Kathleen Thomas and Rebecca Dowski.
Kathleen Thomas and Rebecca Dowski were last seen alive together in October 1986. Their bodies found in their car. Their deaths now the 5th and 6th linked to serial killer Alan Wade Wilmer Sr. Kathleen's brother Bill says he's got a lot of emotions after nearly 4 decades of waiting.
It's a little overwhelming right now. I mean, I've been pursuing answers in this case for 39 years.
In total, there are 8 known people killed along Colonial Parkway, with 6 murders officially linked to Wilmer Sr. Thomas believes there could be even more.
I personally think that Alan Wade Wilmer Sr. is good for additional murders as well.
Now, what's stalling future discovery? Thomas says current laws prevent Alan Wade Wilmer Sr.'s DNA from being entered into the FBI's national database, CODIS.
Even though Alan Wade Wilmer Sr. is a serial.
Yes, Paul, I will. I'll try to do that. Hold on a second. Let me go here to, I don't know if you guys have ever been to especially Eastern Virginia, out towards, it's just absolutely beautiful country. It's one of my favorite states. I love Virginia. It's, especially Western Virginia and the mountains and stuff, but Eastern Virginia is good. There's a lot of, history here, Williamsburg, all of these places here, but this is the Colonial National Parkway highway here, and this is where this guy here kind of did his work here. But if you zoom out here, this is a pretty solid interstate here, 64. And this is, we travel this a lot here because we usually go down to, we've been here to right in this area here. Never quite have been out to Virginia Beach, but we've been close. But we've kind of been on this roadway here. It's just absolutely beautiful out here. It's every bit as good as the Carolinas and stuff like that. But here's Petersburg here. The Beltway Sniper was kind of operating in this area here, maybe a little bit north from here. But anyways, I just wanted to give people an idea of what was going on here. This guy here, in my opinion, is very interesting. Junior Johnson, I haven't seen him in a while. He's usually in, isn't Junior Johnson usually in Southern Gals chat? I thought, too. Whoops, let me share this here. Sorry. I just like to give people a bearing of where we are. This is, Virginia is a beautiful state. I love Virginia. The coffee sucks, but what are you going to do?
Has killed at least 6 people, including my sister and her girlfriend, Rebecca Dowski. We do not have the capability to upload his DNA into CODIS because he was never convicted of a crime.
He says they're fighting to change current laws, while the FBI says its investigation into the Colonial Parkway murders is not finished.
Our work is not finished. We are actively investigating other cases linked to the Colonial Parkway murders and remain committed to pursuing every lead for the families who are.
I mean, I got a couple of unalivings too. Oh, you're welcome. That I'm kind of suspicious of this guy here too. He is, yeah, PJ's awesome too. I like a lot of the creators. Peggy was in here. Peggy's amazing. Her stuff is awesome. Amy G is just, and I'm going to tell people right now, like I have no problems. I reiterate this all the time when I come on here. I have no problem with opinions. I really don't. If people have an opinion about something, I don't have a problem with opinions as long as the opinions are, geared towards finding, more of a truth thing here. I'll never have an issue with people's opinions because I think that's what makes the world go around. It's all what makes us kind of individualistic. Hate is a different thing. Hate is, you may not like somebody's opinion, but you don't really have to hate on it. So that's where I come from. And, I know people say this all the time. But I'm really not here for subs. I'm not here for, if I was here for just subs and likes and all that other stuff, I wouldn't be here. I don't want to sound like I'm better than anybody else, but I just, I'm here because I just trying to find some sort of an answer for some of these people, on the true crime end of the spectrum here, because I feel bad for the families. I mean, these people, they deserve answers. It's not like I'm going to be able to give them any, but I'm going to do everything I possibly can too. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So I do appreciate all the people that try to help, and everybody that's in here. Everybody in here is amazing. I have the greatest people in the chat that show up every Saturday, Sunday night. So definitely thankful for that. But I'm definitely not here for the likes and subs. I'm not. Is it cool to have that stuff? Sure, but it's not it's the last thing on my mind when I come in here. So that's my soapbox for the night. Hold on, let's do this. Ready? Amy's awesome. Amy's amazing. Amy is awesome.
We're still waiting for answers.
Now, Bill Thomas tells me while his family now finally has confirmation and answers that their loved one was killed by Alan Wade Wilmer Sr., Thomas believes the disappearance of Keith Call and Cassandra Haley and several others need to be solved, and those families need clarity as well. Derek Lytle, 13 News Now.
All right, so that's that there. What else did I want to do? I wanted to do one more thing, and then I'll get out of here. Hold on one second here. Let me close this out. I try to do at least 3 hours. I could probably do more, but let's see here. Which one are we going to do next? I do want to do there was one more I wanted to get done here. This guy here. But hold on one second here. This one, I wanted to do this one too, because this person here. All right, so she's back in the news again too. New felony added to Courtney Cleany's murder case. So we'll do that one next week. Let me hold on one second. Sorry. All right, let's back this up. All right, so let me share this here. Hold on one second. Yes, I'll try to I'll post it in my community, Paula. Let's see here. Thank you though for asking. Okay, here's another one of these funnies here. This woman here just apparently lost it in court. She's been losing it for a while. So here's the Naples roommate kicked out of court for her outburst before receiving a life sentence. So this one here is about this woman just freaking out in court.
Breaking news, a North Naples woman will spend the rest of her life in prison after beating her roommate to death with a microphone stand. Thanks for counting on Gulf Coast News. At 11, I'm Lisa Spooner.
And I'm Jack Keenan. It was a bizarre sentencing where Cook was screaming in court and the judge forced to remove her. Gulf Coast News reporter Samantha Romero live at the Collier County Courthouse. This is quite the scene, Samantha.
It really was. I was in the courtroom when the judge sentenced Amanda Cook to life in prison, but she didn't get to hear her.
Amy G is the real deal. She's I try to get over there as much as I possibly can. She comes on really early in the morning now, so that's good. Well, early in the morning for you guys, really late in the morning for me, but I can sometimes at least get to her lives really good. She's an amazing person, but there's other Southern Gal is good too. Southern Gal is so good at what she does. She does the Missing Monday lives on Monday nights usually. I hope she's okay because she's kind of in that ice belt right now with the storm. Barbara Hall was just in here. Barbara Hall's great too. Paula's in here. Paula's amazing. There's so many. That's why everybody's got wrenches in here. So if you guys have channels, feel free to throw them in a chat. Because I have no problem, supporting other creators, making sure that they get seen. There's a lot of great creators that come in here, and I want to try to highlight those people because they do great work, great stuff. But PJ's awesome too. PJ's amazing. So anyways, that's enough for me. All right, let's go to do this.
Her own sentence. That's because moments after she walked in the courtroom, the judge kicked her out after calling all of us aliens and the courtroom a satanic synagogue. But the judge believes this was all.
Dave, And there's Tracy too. Tracy's got a good channel too. Tracy is just an amazing person, very intelligent, very smart. Who's this guy, Dave, that you follow? Yes, Amy G is great.
An act. Amanda Cook arrived to the courtroom.
I'm my attorney. I need a military tribunal. This is a Satan synagogue.
The same way she left.
I gotta watch this again. Like, you just know that this is not going to go well, right? You just, when people start walking into court like this, you just know.
Amanda Cook arrived to the courtroom.
She's so happy about it that she's just smiling. Like, I got my 5 minutes of fame here, bro.
I'm my attorney.
That fucking smile. Like, hold on a second. Where's my gong when I need it? Oh my God, that's too funny.
I need a military tribunal. This is a Satan synagogue.
This.
One more for the loony.
Same way she left.
Oh, whoa, whoa, that's busted. Get out, come in.
Oh, somebody. What's that movie that was it Charlie Chan and the Chocolate? Was it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? With the girl that wouldn't stop screaming.
Screaming at the top of her lungs. This is the woman convicted of beating to death a North Naples woman with a microphone stand in 2019.
There's not a human in here.
The victim was a 64-year-old woman named Karen, killed in her home at the Imperial Gulf Estates community by Cook, who was her roommate at the time. The victim's daughter, Jessica, took the stand with her husband. They say Karen's death destroyed their family.
These poor people just, this woman was brutally unalived by the microphone stand. And she has the nerve to come in here, this courtroom, and act like that with the victim's family. It's just so, ugh.
So distraught over the loss of her mother that she wanted to die and join her. That is how desperate an impact this has had on her.
The judge heard the family's plea.
I will sentence her to life in prison.
Sentencing Amanda Cook to life in.
Sorry, Barbara, I didn't mean to wake you up. Oh, that's too funny. Dave's a digger. Okay. Boston Chris, yes, 2 cats curled up on the electric blanket. 2 cats? Mustang's here? Where's Mustang? What happened to Mustang? Where's Mustang? I haven't seen Mustang all night. There's Mustang right there. Good to see Mustang. Violet Beauregard. I just thought this was
prison, saying this is one of the worst cases he has seen in the county.
Mr. Rankin referenced in this case that this was one of the worst.
Watch this here. Watch this. This, I believe this is the lawyer. Hold on a second here. This guy here. This is classic.
Life in prison.
Sentencing Amanda Cook to life in prison, saying this is one of the worst cases he.
This is her lawyer. Look at his face. Like, they are paying me enough for this. This is in Naples too. Holy shit. Look at this guy.
He has seen in the county.
Oh my God, I needed this laugh. I needed this so bad. This is awesome. This is Oh, Violent B is a screamer. Okay, got you. Yes, that's right.
Mr. Rankin referenced in this case that this was one of the worst murders we've had in Collier County in a long time. I would agree with that.
Thank you, Dieter. I'm just dumb. 2 out of 6. He can't get away quick enough. Running out of there. What did I do to deserve this case?
The defense attorney did say that he's going to the jailhouse to tell Cook what her sentence was and
I mean, obviously, I shouldn't be laughing. This is obviously a mental illness or some kind of stuff, but it is funny. I mean,
to get her fingerprints. Now, I did speak with the victim's family after the sentence came down, and they did not want to go on camera, but they said that this is one of the hardest experiences they've ever had to go through.
poor people.
Live in the Collier County Courthouse, Samantha Romero, Gulf Coast News.
Anybody catch that name? Okay, so we're gonna go through this next week because she's back in the news again. Remember this person here? This is Courtney Clenny's unaliving case. I can't believe that's already in. How come we're not following this? I'll have to watch this next week. This is the OnlyFans model here that was accused of unaliving her boyfriend there. So we'll be going over that next week. All right, but I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Been here. How long have I been here? I've been here. Oh my God, almost 3.5 hours. Playing crazy. We got a sound for that, Barbara. We have sounds for that. Crazy. Absolutely. Absolutely crazy. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you, Tracy. I'll be over there to subscribe to your channel for sure. Thank you very much. This is Tracy right here. She's got a channel, so everybody can go over there and help her out. Thank you, Farky, for coming in. You're awesome. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Polly, you're amazing. Yes, I'll post that once I do the recording. I'll send it over to my community page there. Nicole Watt, thank you so much for coming in. You're awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are all awesome. Barbara, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Timmy's Legacy, I think that's your channel, right? Feel free to throw that in here. Tracy's amazing. Dieter's awesome. Thank you so much, Dieter, for coming in. Boston Christian was here. Mustang was here too. Thank you, Mustang. Thank you, Boston Christian. I know, let's see here. I know Charles was in here. Beasley was in here. Gretchen was in here somewhere. Thank you all for coming in. We had, Dino was in here. Heather was in here. Heather's amazing. Thank you, Heather, for stopping by. Missed you the last couple of weeks. I hope you're well. Hope you're doing good. Heather is just, it's always good to see Heather here for sure. I'm going to miss some people, that's for sure. There's no doubt. Unindicted co-conspirator, thank you so much for coming in. Holden was in here. Thank you so much. Some new people in here. We had, let's see here. Hey, look, that's me. Owl on the Prowl right there. Owl on the Prowl was here. See here. Big Fish was in there. Big Fish, thank you so much. You're awesome. Appreciate you every time coming in here. Everybody stay safe. It's going to be pretty nasty tomorrow, especially if you live on the East Coast. Paulie Walnuts was in here. Thank you, Paulie. Brian Pinos was in here. Hopefully he got his count there. Let's see here. If anybody knows what's going on with Shibby, let me know. Like I said, I didn't see him do a live tonight, so he may be getting some of that weather too, though. Peggy was here. Peggy's awesome. Peggy has a great channel. Let's see here. Also, if there's something you guys want me to cover, let me know. I'm probably going to miss a whole bunch of people. If I do, I apologize. Miranda Lee was in here. Miranda Lee is just amazing. She's an amazing person. It's always good to see you. Miranda, I'm going to forget some people. I apologize for that. But you guys are going to have some snow here in the next couple of days. Just stay safe. That way we can all meet up again next week. And I'll see you guys later. Let me play my outro. Whatever you guys do, don't die. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate that. Let's see here. What am I doing? Let's see here. All right, let me play my outro. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for coming in. And if I missed anybody in here tonight, I apologize that. You think you got about 10 inches already? Wow. All right. And everybody on the replay, I appreciate everybody on the replay too. So everybody have a great night. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.